What's up, guys? Welcome to Dat Wrasslin podcast. It's your boy Soulamazin here with Benjamin Rivers, Streetkilln HD, and the Sheepshifter. What's going on, you guys?
And the Sheepshifter.
There we get a bat at the back.
What's up, dude?
And the bat.
So,
Backy.
Yeah, and we have got a lot of news to talk about here on the podcast.
yes. I reckon we do.
Like every weekend.
I reckon we do.
Yeah, and we've even actually also. Yeah, I don't know if we should get like a kill.
Alright, yeah.
So, yo, I just thought that we were like gonna get kill switch the Barren Blade like t-shirt. Like, yeah, I feel like that's what I should do one day. Just make that shirt just happen and just like start wearing it around.
Alright, guys, so anyways, let's kick it off. We have to recap Monday Night Raw, kicked off by, of course, Roman Reigns coming down to the ring. Of course, he going on with this promo work versus Bobby Lashley, throwing shade at Bobby Lashley once again. And thankfully, this was interrupted by your boys, Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre, coming down to the ring.
Okay, can I ask a question? What are the names? Like yo, what's
the
the name for their
team?
What's the name?
What are their names, he said.
Can you restate the question, then?
What? Okay, what's their team name?
They're just self-titled. They don't have a team.
They're Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre. They're not even really a team so much as they're like backup. Yeah.
I would have actually called them like the Chosen Ones.
Alright, so this continued on.
Now that we know that.
Ziggler, throwing shade back at Roman Reigns, making fun of Roman Reigns, which I thought was hilarious personally. It was good for me. And they, of course, as predicted, attacked Roman Reigns, beat up Roman Reigns. And your boy Seth Rollins came down the ring to defend. They said, I don't know if you guys caught this, but they said former Shield partner. They said former Shield, which I guess this is some light on the fact that the Shield is no longer a thing. Which means maybe the rumors of Dean Ambrose coming back as a different character may be true now. So that's an interesting thing. A little wordplay.
Yes.
That would be good.
A little wordplay, shine some light on what may come. But after this happened, Rollins came in, he defended Roman Reigns, and as I predicted, Kurt Angle made the match official. It would be Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins versus Drew and Dolph in the main event. So that about sums that up. If you guys have anything to say about this part of the show.
Yeah.
It was the right call having them beat up Roman Reigns. Definitely the right call on that aspect. The right call having Rollins come out. It's
Heels being a heel, supposedly?
No, because Roman Reigns is not a heel yet.
Yes.
He's if anything, he's neutral or he's like above heel face type things, just because of the way WWE tries to push him and the way they're going to continue to try to push him until we get tired of it and either accept the fact or just, it's kind of like the last few years of a presidency where you're like, well, he's there, we just got to deal with it.
Yeah, I agree.
Everyone in our going to start with Roman Reigns?
She throwing that shade at the presidency.
No, I'm just saying in general. That's like my feelings on like all of them. I'm always like, well, it's almost over. I don't like any presidents. I think they're all liars.
All right.
I will say this right now. Why does everyone start with Roman Reigns?
It's either Roman or
Reigns or Kurt.
Yeah, but I agree that Roman's like a neutral right now, and I think that the reason why it's hard to determine if he's heel or face is because he's been booked awfully for the past year or so. He's just been thrown into so many random predicaments and matches, and it's just it's hard to keep up. He's in like so many different storylines at one time. He's all over the place. So I think they're still trying to figure things out.
Like he's currently in right now. yeah, but like this rival he's currently in right now suits him more perfect. Like, you know, he's like trying to throw some shades at Bobby Lashley. What's Bobby Lashley doing? He's throwing shades right at like Roman Reigns. Of course, like remember, Roman cannot beat Brock Lesnar. He's tried 3 times, failed it all up. So that's why.
Yeah, I think the Roman Bobby feud is pretty interesting, and we'll see what happens.
It is. Yeah.
True,
But,
true.
if you guys are ready, we could move on.
I agree with that. Yeah.
We got up next. We got another awesome B team impersonation of the Deleters of Worlds. These are always fun to watch.
Oh, love it. Love it.
Especially Bo Dallas's parts. It's so ironic and hilarious.
Yeah.
Well, this is always great comedy work for the show, and I think we were talking when we first started the podcast. I remember addressing how these shows need more comedy bits to them, especially Raw, because at the time we had the Fashion Files on SmackDown, and Raw needed comedy involved in their show because it was getting kind of stale. So this comedy is great for Raw. I love it. The B team is awesome. But
yeah.
Of course, it wasn't brought up on the show, but Bray Wyatt was involved in a car accident. I don't have any update on that. I don't know.
He was back at a house show.
He did. He did appear at a live event.
So he's back at a live event. So he's in good health now.
Thank God.
That's good. So so this led to a.
Oh, he's done that live event recently.
Yeah, he went to a live. He performed at a live event yesterday or the day before.
Oh, okay.
So he's back on action.
Yeah, that's good.
I didn't hear anything about it.
I just heard about from just random different news.
Okay, so that segment led to a one-on-one match between Matt Hardy and Curtis Axel. I believe this was a rematch from the week before, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I think it was. I'm just quickly checking this up.
So it was a decent match, I guess. I mean, it wasn't expected an incredible match from these two, but I mean, no throwing shade at Matt Hardy or anything, but you know, you're not gonna expect a over the top match between Matt Hardy and Curtis Axel.
Yeah, definitely.
So it was a pretty average match. It wasn't bad. Bo Dallas, I believe, interfered, and Matt Hardy, you know, fought off of it, but Curtis Axel still got the upper hand and defeated Matt Hardy in one-on-one competition. So we'll see what happens next week, especially if Bray Wyatt, like you said, was at a live event and is gonna come back to Raw this week. Then maybe he'll wrestle Bo Dallas one-on-one, or that would be pretty interesting, huh? They have a Bray versus Bo, brother versus brother.
Yeah,
that would be pretty good for this week.
I would love to see that. I would love to see that.
You know how they always do the one-on-one matches between the tag teams? You know, the one versus the other, and so maybe this was on purpose to have Matt Hardy versus Curtis Axel, so we can see the brother-on-brother match. That'll be pretty cool.
Maybe.
Sheep says maybe. You got anything else to add, Sheep?
Of course. Yeah.
Definitely love the Curtis Axel and Bo Dallas impressions. I agree that Bo Dallas's are probably a little bit better than Kurt Axel's, but Kurt Axel's are still pretty good because, I mean, he does a good Matt Hardy, and the accent and the jokes, it's all pretty good. I hope, you know, I still hold out hope that they can dethrone the Deleters of the World, even though I initially was against the idea. I've changed my mind. I definitely do hope that the B team can at least hold it for a little while. It's a nice breath of fresh air because their tag team division was taking itself really seriously.
Yeah,
and
too seriously, I think.
There wasn't anybody good enough for it to take itself that seriously besides the Bar.
I agree. And that's why I agree that I think the B team needs to have at least a couple, maybe a month to 3 month title run, because we need to see some comedic champions. Like I think the Miz was the last comedic champion who could come out and make you laugh. You know, the rest of the champions don't do that. They don't make you laugh, so to speak. Seth Rollins doesn't make you laugh when he was champion. Except the thing with Elias. I mean, not to diss any of these other champions, but it'd be refreshing to see somebody come out and cut some funny promos as champions. I think B Team, this is a perfect time for them, and they couldn't have been building them up between the Miztourage and then the B Team and the merchandise and the promos. Like, they have to win the titles. It just makes perfect sense.
I agree.
If they don't, it's just like a spit in the face. And they deserve it.
We all know WWE.
Well, yeah, exactly. We know WWE, so they're probably like, they're never gonna win the titles.
Nah, I think they're gonna give them a title run.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Cause they got such a big push. It's only like a matter of time that they're gonna get that title on.
Yeah.
It's like Rusev. I'm thinking Rusev is actually gonna win that title at Extreme Rules.
Yeah, but you know, WWE won't do that. Like, they're just gonna keep champions.
No, I don't know. Cause Rusev got.
That's what they might do. We don't know that. We don't know that. But
okay, man. We don't know that. That's true.
Yo.
Alright.
Yo. Okay. Well, I am gonna give you like a little bit of one example. You never exact right. He got a push. Boom. Nope.
Alright. Yeah, that's true.
Well, he got more of a push as like one of the main characters, one of the main wrestlers.
Yeah. Well,
he didn't really get a title opportunity, title run. He got
I don't want to throw everybody shades in him, but like, you know, it's just it's just like an opinion. That's all I'm just saying.
Did you say I don't want to throw shades at them?
Shades? Give me those shades.
I just did.
All right. Well, let's move on to the next match on the Monday Night Raw.
Excuse me.
I'm gonna do it.
We have a segment.
All right, Ben.
What's the segment, Ben?
You know, the whole Bailey, Sasha Banks, the Catholic thing. You name this.
Oh, was that here? Was that?
Yes,
that's
it was.
That happened next. Well, that one was kind of like a little introduction to the Bailey Sasha therapy session. It wasn't like the actual segment itself.
Can I say something? No,
it's kind of a little introduction to it. They did the whole, you're here? I have an appointment at this time. Oh my god. And I was like, I want to turn my TV off right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like, but I think
like I'm in
just like
school.
one of the, I think like one of the best things like during that segment was the Dr. Shelby
so
saying,
cringy. It's so cringy. I did not like
Well, that was at the next
cringy.
part,
That
man.
segment was hella cringy.
Wait, what?
There was a two-part. It was a two-part segment.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
But
Sorry,
we
yep,
basically
I
just summed up the entire thing. So.
Yeah.
So we can move on. We had Titus Worldwide facing the Authors of Pain. If you remember, the Authors of Pain were walking around backstage all tough.
Yeah.
And Titus stopped them and was like, "Whoa, man, you can't do that." So they had a match. And
You can't do that.
Give me only I be sliding through these hallways, boys. World slide. But they had a match, and you know, I love Titus Worldwide, man. Apollo Crews is a great wrestler. Titus he's cool. When you try to say something positive about somebody, he's cool.
Yeah.
You know, not the greatest in-ring performer ever, but this was inevitably a squash match. Unfortunately, I mean, Authors of Pain aren't gonna lose.
Hate squash.
To,
Oh my god, another squash match? Why? Just,
They always have squash.
that's
matches,
part
man.
of
It's not-
sports entertainment.
pointless now. Yo,
Yeah.
I was trying to. It's a little pointless having squash matches.
No, it's not.
Well, they have squash matches for the Authors of Pain and people like that. it's so that they can build them up. They can't just return and just face on the big dogs. You know what I mean? They have to build up. They have to get up there. They have to put in work before they can just face a big team. Like Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre. They did a couple of squash matches until they had a team up with like Rollins and Reigns.
Wait,
they squash matches.
I did not see any of their squash matches. Just
they did like 2 squash matches.
Before they disappeared. When they debuted on Raw, they had a squash match the first 2 weeks. And then they were gone for a while.
Yeah, I think I didn't even see that moment, so I just looked like so tired. Yeah.
But yeah.
But
that's all it basically was for the Authors of Pain. Is that there's a bit of squash matches. It's so weird though with Titus Worldwide because Titus Worldwide will get like a win on a good team and then get a loss on a bad team.
Yeah.
They're like back and forth. It's like, what are they doing with Titus Worldwide? They're almost in that category of Rhino and Heath Slater. Almost there. Just almost there. I don't know, man.
That is true.
Don't know.
I don't know. I don't know either, but I like seeing Titus Worldwide on TV, and I hope they stick around. I mean, I don't see them ever being like tag team champions, but I see more of Apollo Crews going for a mid-card title and Titus being the manager of it all. That's what I see for the future.
It could trick you.
Maybe.
Yeah,
but that's about all I see.
A title shot.
Well, Sheep, you got anything to say about this?
I don't think there's. I mean, maybe down the road. I think Apollo Crews could do something. I don't see anything for Titus Worldwide at this point. But I mean, I don't think Apollo Crews is still ready yet. He still needs to job for a while. I really don't think he was ready for Raw or SmackDown. Not necessarily talent-wise. He's got the talent. He's got the physique. He's got the skill.
True.
He doesn't have that it factor.
Mm-hmm.
You can't take him seriously when he's always, smiling.
He's like a Bailey though, with all that smiling.
But it's not. But he doesn't. They don't use that. If they marketed that, I would say that would be the smart move is to market him like Bailey. Super friendly, really just all around nice guy, Carlton or something. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Have him like a Carlton type person. But they're not doing that. They're just wasting him and make him so bland and generic with no story. He's just Apollo Crews, and he's just a wrestler. What do we know about Apollo Crews? There's nothing to it. There's nothing to it. You got to have something to. You don't always have to have something, but if you don't have something, you damn sure better have a lot of support or fans already, because you're gonna have a tough time making it on your own with just your athletic ability. Very few people can make it purely on athletic ability. Look how long it took Ricochet to get in the WWE. He's almost 40 years old.
Is he really?
Well, he's like 35, something like that.
I thought he was like in his early 20s. He looks young.
You know what's funny though? We never thought that Rhino and Heath Slater would get a title opportunity, but they still did.
Yeah, I mean anybody can.
And they actually did win those.
But who's gonna remember that? Because it lasted what, 2 days? Like a week?
Heath Slater and Rhino's title reign lasted longer than that, than 2 days.
Maybe 2 weeks.
I don't remember.
It wasn't very much. Exactly. You just said it right there. I don't remember.
It was a month.
Then I don't remember everybody's title reign. I don't even remember freaking, I don't know, Miz's title reign. When was the last time
we wouldn't even remember that Heath Slater and Rhino were tag team champions. They weren't the first SmackDown tag team champions. That's the only reason I remember.
Yeah, but they were the SmackDown Live tag teams.
Yeah. But anyway, and as far as Authors of Pain, I'm getting tired of the I'm getting tired of the squash matches just because I'm ready for them to have a regular match, and I guess there's still a lot of stuff that they're trying to work out in the tag team division there, but it seems like they could be a big part of it, and they're wasting that opportunity.
Heath Slater and Rhino's tag team reign lasted 84 days, on par with American Alpha.
I just looked it up as well. 84 days.
And longer than the New Day and Usos' first reign.
That's nuts.
Yep.
And the New Day's second reign, it's longer than New Day's first and second reign combined.
Yep.
I knew it was a long time, but I just don't remember how long.
So
I'm not gonna remember everybody's reign.
The Bludgeon Brothers actually have the second longest reign on SmackDown Live.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of sickening.
90 days.
Okay.
Yep. Nope.
Anyways, let's move on. Up next, we had the match between Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins versus Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre.
Yo, can we
tag team match that was built up in the beginning of the show.
Mm-hmm. I like this match. This was a good match.
Yeah. Okay, can we?
Yeah, of course. This was a great
look
match.
At the fact
yes.
that WWE.com.
4 superstars.
Let me put Roman Reigns twice, like in that sentence. Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, Intercontinental Champion, Dolph Ziggler, and Roman Reigns via disqualification. Oh God. Why are they gonna keep?
Did you just spoil the results, Ben? Maybe we were just discuss how the match played out.
We did.
No,
you just jumped straight. You just said
the match.
We just announced the match. And you're like, oh yeah, they won by disqualification. Yeah. You just
no. I was just talking about like the No, I was just actually like talking about like the mess up they did. Yeah, that's like what I was talking about. I wasn't talking about the entire match.
You said the results of the match. That is, dude.
I know, but like, I was like talking about like what they did. They stuffed up on like putting Roman Reigns twice. Just in like that sentence. So that's what I was talking about.
All right.
Okay.
So, anyways, this match.
Go on, Street.
Go on.
You guys
I'm just saying.
You want to talk about it?
Match. No. You want? Yeah. After we're done. Talking about it, I guess. I don't know.
Sheep, you got anything to say on this tag team match?
We're all messed
Vin's
up.
Got everybody discombobulated over here, guys. Hold with us.
Yeah, we got myself.
We're trying to get our heads recollected.
See, this is why we don't skip ahead, Ben. We don't skip ahead.
Sorry, it's not my fault, Joe. You said
that. All right, let's give the mic to Sheep. Sheep, you want to talk about this match?
Yeah, what was that next one?
Yeah, as far as I mean, it was what I expected it to be honest. I didn't expect either team to come out with a straight-up victory. I knew that something would happen, and, I knew for sure that something would happen with the Revival, because they've been featured pretty prominently in that storyline for the past 2 weeks, so for them to just not be involved in it, and not to do something shady would just not have made sense. So I would have been pissed off if they wouldn't have come out, even though I don't really care for the whole Revival. I'm sure I'm with Soul here that I don't care for the Revival being a part of this whole deal. I don't think they deserve to be in that conversation yet.
I agree.
I agree.
They had to come out because of the previous weeks. It was inevitable.
I really don't want to see Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre split, though. I want to see them milk this for as long as they can. I know it's got to happen eventually, but the chemistry is just too good.
It brings back something that we haven't seen in a long time.
Since Diesel and Shawn Michaels.
I like to see a respectful play on the past, if that makes sense.
And I know people gave me heat about it last time, but I think Drew McIntyre is better than Diesel, and Dolph Ziggler is just as good as Shawn Michaels.
Interesting.
What, Ben? Got something to say?
I am actually going to say this right now. No one could beat Diesel. Just saying. I don't care, if you're Drew McIntyre and if you left the WWE and
Rey Mysterio beat him.
Yes, he did. This is interesting. I didn't know people
That was
felt
back
so.
in WCW,
Well,
but like
Sam
not
says
any.
his favorite wrestler is Diesel, right? But other than
Yeah.
Sam, Raider Nation Sam, Diesel is his favorite wrestler. But
Oh.
I didn't really think that people
Oh, really?
thought that highly about Diesel before. Honestly,
Well, I do.
I
so,
don't. I
yeah.
Or Kevin Nash. We can just cut. We can cut to the chase and say
wait,
Kevin
Kevin Nash.
Nash.
We're talking about Kevin
Yeah, I
Nash.
was about to say.
Not Diesel, Kevin
Are
Nash.
they liking him for as Big Daddy Diesel or whatever his name was?
Well, let's
Was it
just say
Big Daddy
Kevin.
Diesel or
We'll
Big
say
Diesel
Kevin
or
Nash.
Daddy Diesel?
Yeah, we'll say Kevin
Let
Nash.
me,
Yeah, but
let
wait.
me rephrase the way I
Did-
said it. Diesel
did he-
as Diesel is better than Drew McIntyre.
Oh.
Well, then
I
not
was
not
gonna-
as
okay,
Kevin
yeah.
Nash. You know,
See,
well,
'cause I was
I
gonna
would still
say,
say
Are they liking him
Kevin
because
Nash
he's
was
Kevin
just a
Nash
big
or
guy.
Diesel?
Look, what was so great about Kevin Nash? He was just a big guy. He wasn't very technically great. If you go back and watch the matches with Kevin Nash, they're not great matches. They're not 5-star matches. At best, you get 3-star. You know, you get big show type matches out of Kevin Nash, and that's why I don't understand. I understand the love for him, but don't sit there and say Drew McIntyre is not as good as Kevin Nash, because Drew McIntyre in the ring and technically is better than Kevin Nash, and I'm sure that anybody
I
who watches
agree.
wrestling.
I
Yeah,
agree
but
with
isn't
that.
there a lot of
I'm-
wrestlers these days can be on that level
Well,
of?
it's because yes, the generation, the athletes now are fucking freaks of nature, and that's part of it. But
Yeah.
you know, it's like saying, you know, it's like trying to have the Michael Jordan and LeBron argument, because
Yeah.
you really can't, and
Mhm.
not and be fair, because they were different times and different styles. But if you put them straight up, you know, now and
Yes.
you know,
Yeah.
Kevin Nash in his prime and you know Drew McIntyre now, I'm saying that Drew McIntyre would win that.
Yeah, someone's
just
actually. Yeah,
because
is
of,
this
you know,
PS4?
the
Yes,
year
it is.
difference.
It
See,
is PS4.
that's why I hate putting up older sports
Against newer
sports
ones.
athletes to newer generation. It's like comparing older music to new generation music, but
It's
you
hard
know,
to
new
do.
generation. You know, so there's some new generation that sucks, like hip hop these days and rap. And the old school, you know, is better. But you know, it's mixed because
But at the same time, even
it's always evolving.
there was bad
All that
music
stuff
back
is
then
evolving.
too. We just remember the good.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it is different generation to generation, and for you know a podcast sake and talking about wrestling and just comparing it, I agree with Sheep about this. I never really thought that Kevin Nash was that great of a wrestler to begin with. I'm surprised by a little surprised about how much people actually like Kevin Nash. I mean, he was good on the mic.
Yeah.
He's great on the mic, and he's part of the original NWO.
Yeah, and he was good as being like a bodyguard
Yeah,
also. He was
yeah,
good
definitely.
as bodyguard. Just like,
But Razor Ramon made
Like for Shawn
NWO
Michaels.
for me.
yeah.
I think NWO made Kevin Nash. I think Razor Ramon made NWO, and that's the way I feel about that. But this,
Well, Hulk Hogan made NWO.
well, I said for me.
The Hulk Hogan was the big part. Well, I mean, it wouldn't have happened had it not been for
Yeah.
Hulk Hogan. It wouldn't have been possible. But yeah, anyway.
Okay, we can move on. Baron Corbin.
NWO, one of the greatest groups in wrestling entertainment.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
Moving on, Baron Corbin addresses
Especially the
Finn
Wolfpack.
Balor.
Yep. Yeah, and also demands just him demanded apology from Finn Balor, which, in my mind, wasn't it Baron Corbin who attacked Finn Balor like during that tag team match they had a couple of weeks like last week?
If I remember correctly, I think didn't Finn hit him first?
No.
Yeah, because
I
I think all Baron Corbin did was grab Finn by the ankles when he was running into the ropes. He grabbed him and pulled him out of the ring, I believe, and then Finn jumped up and hit him.
Yeah.
I think that's how that happened. Something like that. But
Maybe so. I don't remember.
this week
I don't care.
Baron Corbin came out, demanded an apology from Finn Balor. Balor with some pretty good disses again. What were some of them? He said yeah, he said, yeah, you do deserve an apology from whoever gave you that haircut or something along those lines.
Yeah.
And then there was like 2 or 3 other jokes that he cracked that were pretty good. But I like to see a comedy side from
Pop some jokes.
from Finn. I think he said something about did I get you fired from your job at Target or something like, or at TG Fridays or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then as always we have the stable. What's this? Why did I just call like him Constable? I was supposed to say Constable.
Yeah, Constable.
Yeah, Baron Corbin,
Constipated
he
Corbin.
didn't run the mouth.
Constipated Corbin. An end of squandered opportunities.
Yeah, they go. So
What was that?
any opinions on any opinions on this match? On that? Any opinions on it?
On this match, well,
no,
you know.
No, on this segment, I was supposed to say.
Oh, it was just a segment. There's nothing really to it.
Oh,
I mean,
it was just a promo to build up a rivalry between the two.
Yeah,
well, we have heard.
Well, I shouldn't say there was nothing to it because it was just a build-up promo to the thing, to the match.
Yeah, well, I will say this right now. They have announced it on WWE, just like that. Finn Balor and Constable, yeah. You're right. I keep saying that funny word, Constable. Constable, Baron Corbin will face
it's a constable. What about a pro stable?
No, Constable, Baron Corbin will be facing Finn Balor at Extreme Rules. I cannot wait to see Finn Balor kick Constable Baron
this
Corbin's
whole
ass.
thing, the feud was.
I would not be surprised if Constable
match.
Corbin wins this match with the WWE's history of screwing over Finn Balor and pushing Baron Corbin.
Honestly, I think he is gonna win this match. I think he's gonna win because they're giving Baron Corbin such a big line right now. If you really look at it, Baron Corbin has such a big line right now in the WWE. If you really look at it, you might think the Constable thing is bullshit, but to give like a title to somebody, like manager, whatever, assistant manager, and be on screen like that, you know, it's a big.
That's a huge deal for Baron Corbin.
This could be built up to anything, really. You know, WWE finally sat there and said, "Oh, fucking Baron Corbin, he's bad with the mic, and he's bad."
Make him embarrass himself until he gets it right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
like,
the man
you sit there, grab the mic, and stop making yourself useful and actually train.
Yeah, well, I will say this right now. I feel like they are actually just trying to like make up for the mistake because remember Baron Corbin did lose the SmackDown. God, what am I now saying?
Well, it wasn't a mistake. It was already planned, so.
Yeah, which. Yeah, but like, I could see a Baron Corbin Kurt Angle. I don't know why I automatically think of Baron Corbin versus Kurt Angle rivalry for like the top job. I don't know. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, Sheep, you got anything to say on this?
It was a promo. I think you guys are right. Baron Corbin will probably beat Finn Balor just because history repeats itself, you know. And I mean, Baron Corbin has kind of stepped up since he cut his hair off.
Yeah, the hair is holding it down.
It was.
That's what I did. I shaved my head and I started getting wins on Fortnite, so it works.
Oh god.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I haven't had hair in years. No excuse.
Yo, I think that Baron Corbin has actually made Monday Night Raw a little bit much better.
I wouldn't go that far.
Just a little bit. Yo, I just said just a little bit better.
Like 0.5%.
Yeah, 0.5% better. That's all I'm gonna say.
All right, so moving on, and moving past Ember
We've
Moon
got
versus Liv Morgan.
Oh God.
Yep.
So it wasn't that bad of a match.
Another.
Yeah,
It was okay, but
let's see.
which I didn't even see
Bleacher
this one, so
Report gives it a
why am I even
C. I
talking?
would give it not
A
a
D.
C. Maybe like a D plus.
I give it a C minus.
And I'm kind of disappointed in this match because Ember Moon is a great wrestler, and I think Liv Morgan has a lot of potential. And I was kind of, when this match like was announced, as I was watching, I was like, oh, this is gonna be pretty interesting. Liv Morgan finally is gonna get a singles opportunity against a good in-ring performer, so we're gonna probably see a pretty good match. She's probably gonna go out there and give it all she's got to give herself some exposure. Yeah. And then it was just pretty mediocre in my opinion.
You know what?
Maybe I expected
think
too
maybe
much.
This match was told to give Liv Morgan more exposure than Ember Moon.
Yeah, maybe I just expected too much out of it.
This is what I think. Because, well, Moon did win, but you know she didn't do amazing like you said. Like maybe you were expecting too much, but maybe they're trying to give Liv Morgan like a solo career here, and didn't want Moon to put in her fullest. Who knows?
Yeah, I could see that.
So, it's kind of weird though because Ember Moon, women's champion, and she puts on good matches.
Yeah.
And then she does like a weird match.
I'm not sure how I feel about Liv Morgan. What? She seems interesting, but in a way, she seems like just another like a knockoff Alexa Bliss. So I don't really know.
That's what I was saying. Liv Morgan's like a knockoff Alexa Bliss.
That's the vibe I get from her, but maybe it's because she hasn't had any singles opportunities, or she hasn't had any promos for herself. She's just kind of in the Ruby Riott shadow right now. So
can I just ask one question?
What's that?
Would you want to see Liv Morgan versus Alexa Bliss?
Well, like I said, right now, I don't know because she doesn't really have. It's kind of just like what Sheep said about Apollo Crews. She doesn't have a story behind her. We don't know anything. All we know is her name's Liv Morgan.
Well, let's say, all right. Let's say we just give her a story. I don't know. Just put a story together. Just think she has a story, and she defeats like these women in the roster to face Alexa Bliss. Would you want to see that? Liv Morgan, Alexa Bliss for a title
That's a
match.
hell of a lot of imagining and foreshadowing, but I guess yeah, anything's possible. Just like you say.
Well, what else is they gonna do with her other than her being in the Riot Squad?
Well, eventually the Riot Squad.
What happens to the Riot Squad after the Riot Squad is done?
They're all gonna go their own separate ways and have single runs, and the ones who are successful will be, and the ones that aren't will be no longer in the company. That's basically the way it works.
That's true.
They're about to do a second Mae Young Classic,
That's why I was asking
there's
that
tons
question.
of talent. It's just like you said a couple podcasts ago, Street, that the way the sports entertainment world is today, it's rapidly changing. There's new talent coming and going very quickly, and it's at a point where you don't have as long to prove yourself. You don't have the time and to take your time and develop yourself like you did back in the day. If you come in and you don't get a reaction from the fans and you don't show anything, you're out of there. Like unless you know somebody, unless you're related to somebody, it's a quick. Oh well, that guy didn't work out. On to the next one.
That's how the Rock got his exposure. The Rock, his first time in wrestling, he didn't expect to be, such a big ass wrestler and big star as he is now, until the crowd actually popped for him and really rooted for him. It's like that was back then, but that wasn't that long ago either. That's when during the Attitude Era, and the Attitude Era was basically it was crazy.
Yep.
And it was like kind of like it is these days, where the crowd really wants something and they'll give it, but these days WWE doesn't really give what the crowd wants. So that's why, the crowd is always like either booing or chanting or saying these weird ass shits. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like WWE doesn't give what the fans want like they used to in the Attitude Era. And that what made the Attitude Era what it was is all these superstars, just out there freely going crazy doing this crazy shit, and they gave the fans what they wanted to see. They wanted to see, DX or whatever. They wanted to see Stone Cold, The Rock, and they'll give it to them. And they gave them these crazy matches too. So I don't know. Will we
Yeah.
ever get like an Attitude Era type thing again? Like, will we ever
Yeah,
get
I don't
that
think.
from WWE? I don't think so.
No,
I doubt it.
that's what I'm kind of actually kind of like want to get one day. I'll just get freaking Attitude Era matches.
About the
Get like
women's division though, it's here's the thing I
it's
have an issue
lacking.
with.
I think
It's
is that
not that
lacking?
it's
I don't know.
bad. It's that there's too many women talent, and then they don't know what to do with half of these women. We got men,
Well,
right?
just fire
We
all.
got two brands. We got men. Listen. We got men on two brands, three titles for each brand for the men's division. We got the mid card title, the tag title, and the main title for the men's. And all we have for the women is just a women's title. And there's been rumors about women's tag
Right.
team title happening, that might happen. So if they do bring in a women's tag team title, I wouldn't mind that, because then we'll get more women in action, and
Yeah,
they'll have their
definitely.
opportunity. You know what I'm saying? It's like they just mash up all these women's in matches. Like, what was it, 2 weeks ago, where they did like the 8 women fucking tag team match, just threw it there because they didn't know what to
Yeah,
do with
definitely.
all those women. It's like, as they mashed up all these big tag team matches together because they don't really know what to do with them. It's like, yep, let's just do this, put them in action. There we go. That's it. I don't know.
Yep.
I agree. This I like Ember Moon. I like Liv Morgan. She hasn't necessarily grown on me yet. She seems kind of plain to me until she gets some kind of development going. Ember Moon definitely. I was disappointed in the quality of the match that came out here, but otherwise, it was just there. It's not necessary to even really go deep into it.
Yep. And that's all you
Yeah.
guys got to say about that. We can move on to yet
Yep.
another match between Roman Reigns and Bobby Lashley versus the Revival.
Yeah, another Roman match. Great.
Roman's second match of this week's Monday Night Raw.
Yep.
I know, right?
And second tag team
Yo,
match.
I just feel like the WWE is like trying to book Roman Reigns just too much. Just saying. Just find this.
Just too
Raw
much?
Just a
thing,
little
like,
too much.
like,
He's been
yeah,
booked
yeah,
more
yeah,
than
yeah.
he's been booked
Brock
more than
Lesnar.
freaking Brock Lesnar.
Definitely true, but like of course, Brock Lesnar never shows up to any Raw anyway, so fuck that. Yeah. Alright.
Soul over there is like just
Yep.
making faces right now. In his head, like,
I'm
this
not.
guy,
Which I actually will
Bumbling.
also
I'm not
say,
getting into it again.
another.
I have to do this like
Well,
every
I'm
day of
gonna
my
say this right now.
life.
Another. Can we actually also just admit, like, okay, the first Roman Reigns match ended in disqualification. This one ends up in disqualification again. Oh.
But this time Roman
Huh?
Reigns.
Sorry.
Oh
won.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. This
Yeah,
time
but by
Roman Reigns won.
disqualification. By disqualification.
Yeah. I know.
Because
Disqualification.
Roman Reigns got beat up. Roman Reigns got squashed by the Revival. That's what happened. Let's be honest. All the Roman
Yeah,
Reigns
last week, yeah,
fanboys,
he did.
I'm sorry, you can say screw you, Soul. But if he is supposed to be the top guy, the big dog, da 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 da, he should be able to handle the Revival on his own. I don't know who wrote this, who
Yeah,
allowed
but
this to happen, but in my professional opinion, I highly disagree with Roman Reigns getting annihilated by the Revival. Right, maybe AOP, Maybe Drew
Yeah,
and
they're trying to
Dolph,
actually give the
maybe,
revival a body
but
a
not the revival.
chance.
Come on, guys. This was
What are they
Yo,
even
they're
doing
trying to
with the
actually
revival,
give the
though?
this was
I don't
revival
understand.
ridiculous.
Anything with the
Well,
revival is ridiculous.
I get the point.
Anything with the
I
revival is
get
ridiculous.
the reasoning behind it for the as far as the rivalry with Roman and Bobby goes. I get that side of it, but at what cost? They cost Roman Reigns to get beat up by the revival to prove a point of
Yeah,
he didn't want
but
to tag Bobby
it
Lashley.
doesn't really.
It just wasn't, the risk wasn't worth the reward.
In my opinion, it doesn't affect the Roman, in my opinion.
It affects it highly.
Yeah,
Fine.
He just got blindsided by 2 donkeys, alright? He just got beat up by 2 people. I mean, that, you know,
Okay,
that's like saying the day he got beat up by 3 heels. It's like, they've been doing it for a long time.
Okay, what?
Him
But what
getting
if it was?
beat up by
What if it was
multiple people.
Breezango that blindsided him and beat him up? Would your opinion change then, or it's still the same reason?
Like, he's not like Braun Strowman where you can have like a whole team of freaking 6 people in there.
Oh yes, he is. The way he talks in his promos, yeah, he is. He talks pretty highly of himself. This is my yard. You can't handle 2 little.
Yeah,
he's getting to the heel. He's being the heel.
Remember,
he's
he's Vince McMahon's golden boy. Saying that now. Vince is,
But I'm not talking about the way
Vince's
he talks.
golden boy.
I'm talking about his build. He's not Braun Strowman where you can have 6 people on him and just get out of it.
I understand what you're saying, and that's fine. I mean, we have different opinions, and we take things different ways. Things that happen, we interpret things differently, is what I'm trying to say. And that's my way of interpreting it. Is I think it's ridiculous for him to be beat up by the revival. But you make a good point. Yeah, he was blindsided. I just don't think it should have been written this way. I just don't agree with the writing. I think it was unnecessary.
When have you actually agreed with writing on WWE?
When Brock Lesnar won the Universal Championship. I said that to trigger you guys.
Yeah, but I actually will be like the first one just to like admit this about the revival. Remember, like, okay, I think it was like their debut to like Raw. They've like lost every match like they've been on Raw, and then they finally got a shocking victory over freaking Roman Reigns. Like, you know, it's just, you know, I consider Revival like, you know, they could be like building this up to like something. I don't know.
No, they're just throwing a Revival in there because they've been buried so many times.
Yeah, that's what I was freaking talking about. But
they just want to give them more. They're just paying them back. Like, oh, we're sorry we buried you by a bunch of legends. That one time on 25th anniversary, we buried you by like 5 legends.
I don't know.
Here.
Yeah,
beat up Roman Reigns. There you go.
Even putting my personal feelings aside, I don't see the Revival going anywhere. I mean, I could be proven wrong, but I just, right now, I don't see it. They're just like we were just talking about how rapidly changing the WWE roster is, and they're just not, right now, they're just so stale in general. I don't even think it's a lack of creativity or writing. It's just they are what they are, and what they are is stale. I think they would have to completely change their whole entire. They need like they're gonna get like a Bludgeon Brothers rewrap, and it's just gonna be like whatever.
Please don't do
Not
that.
literally Bludgeon Brothers. I mean Luke Harper, Eric Rowan rewrap, story rewrap.
What's funny though is that their name is Revival. That's the funny part.
Or they could be in line. The Revival could be in line. They might come out and entertain us one night and be champions. I mean, you never know. Everything happens for a reason.
Oh, yeah. So with the talk over here with the quoting.
Well, you see, I'm trying to be more enlightened and positive about everybody, and I'm trying to not to be so. But this guy sucks. Yeah, I'm trying to be. Open my eyes.
That's why there's 4 of us here.
Yeah. But what?
Yeah, but I will say like.
So Sheep, what do you think about this? You seem very quiet over there.
Street is what I was about to say. Alright.
I don't disagree. I don't necessarily agree with Soul in that I can see how the Revival can beat up Roman Reigns. In that we saw it over and over again with AJ Styles and the Good Brothers. Beat up John Cena. They were beating up John Cena almost every night. Through some way or another. And Gallows and Anderson are about on the same level right now of the card as the Revival is. I consider them about the same, as good as Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson are. I know you might not compare them, but as far as where they are and what they've accomplished so far, I consider them about the same. Granted, I think Gallows and Anderson won a belt, didn't they?
Huh?
Gallows and Anderson did win a title, didn't they?
Yes, they did. They
At
won
one point, and they just recently were in a tag team title match.
No, it's a Raw Tag Team.
Yeah, so they won a title, but the Revival does have a decent fan base, and a lot of people who know. I think their biggest fans are in the locker room, because from what I've heard and what I've researched and read, and they're really, really hard workers. They really respect the business, and they're genuinely, they're what's quote unquote called good brothers. That's not just a tag team name. That's an industry term for people who are really helpful backstage and who really, really love the business, and they eat, sleep, breathe wrestling, and they care for it. So I can't necessarily dislike anybody who thoroughly only wants to be a wrestler for that aspect, and it's not about the money, it's not about the fame, it's about the business.
Abs Anderson, y'all.
Yeah, I can't help but respect that. So I have that amount of respect for the Revival, but I do agree that they're stale. They don't have they don't have that. They're like Liv Morgan. They're like Apollo Crews. They're they're bland. They need something to make them different. All they are is I'll be honest. The one of the bald headed Revival guy with the fucking goatee or whatever looks like a racist asshole. I'm just saying. Anybody with
what?
He looks like a skinhead. You saying?
He looks like a racist redneck guy. Cause anybody who pretty much has that facial hairstyle, it's generally kind of a racist dick.
Disclaimer: Dat Wrasslin podcast does not credit any stereotyping in here.
We do not condone
racism or stereotyping.
Yo, yes, we don't condone.
I'm not saying. I'm definitely not saying that he is, but I think that's
Scott
generally, Scott Dawson. That hairstyle is generally from the Confederate, generals and stuff. They wore that type of hairstyle.
If you're watching this and you have Scott Dawson's hairstyle, we apologize.
I'm not saying he's a racist. I'm just saying that's the impression that I get,
agree.
And it's purely based on a look, and it's not right, and I don't necessarily think it's right that I do that.
The Revival to me looks like two guys whose moms make them hang out together. They don't even like each other, but their moms know each other, so they're like, you boys are gonna go.
Oh, come
you boys
on,
are gonna go out there and
Mom,
wrestle together. Okay?
Come on, dude.
Come on, Mom.
And they both are all pissed off. If you notice, they barely even look at each other. They act like they don't even know the other one exists. It's real awkward.
Maybe they're like Sabatelli and Moss from NXT.
They hate each other.
They just don't like each other, but they work together well enough. They're like, okay. There were a lot of teams that hated each other, and they tagged together for a long time. I can't remember your name.
They were they're at the WWE develop. I can't talk.
Developmental
Center. And they had a bunch of guys in a group, and it was a group labeled guys who will never get a singles push, and they had to pick tag team partners like a high school dodgeball team, and these two are like, all right, whatever, let's go, let's try.
Yeah,
we'll call ourselves the Revival. It's cool. No, I'm just kidding. I said I wasn't gonna be that guy and bash
realized
anyone.
something.
You guys heard it here, the true story of the revival. You won't find that on any DVD or behind the scenes special.
Now. I think it was back in 2014. When they first started, like they were called the mechanics.
Shut up.
What? What'd you say? What did he say?
Is this true?
I will say this right now. They're like, they did.
Wait, what?
Look it up. Look up the revival, and look on Wikipedia. It's got it. It says like, in 2014, after returning from injury, Scott Dawson teamed up with a debuting Dash Wilder with the performing. Extensively
where they had
I just
that was
like
a year ago. That was a year ago when Dash Wilder had an injury.
Okay, so this adds
Dawson
even more to Sheep's
wait.
point about the racist facial hair.
Just saying.
All right, let's move on because we're going in a whole other direction here. This is gonna be a quick one. Up next we had No Way Jose versus Mojo Rawley.
Which that
anybody care to say anything about this?
I want to talk about this for about 35-40 minutes.
How? If I had the time to waste, I would love to put a timer on and force you guys to talk about this for 40 minutes.
There you go.
So, we do gotta say that conga line guy really took a hell of a bump. I think he's up for a promotion pretty soon.
Yep,
you think so?
That was a pretty good bump, but that definitely wasn't Todd. Okay, that was not Todd. No, they should have brought Todd back, and Todd should have took the bump. Todd went over with the crowd, kinda.
Yeah, they were chanting, "We want Todd." I agree.
You know? Yeah, so I mean,
I was kind of just
on that a little bit.
And they emphasized Todd so much in the previous promo that I was actually looking forward to seeing Todd again this week. I'm not gonna lie, and I was actually pretty disappointed that he wasn't there. Nothing happened.
Yeah.
I think that was a bit of a mistake on their part.
Yeah.
What's sad?
The whole thing.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Well, the whole thing is kind of dumb, This was almost halfway. The 3 matches before the main event.
Yeah.
And this was 2 bottom of the card fighters, like fighting after, let's see, after the Roman Reigns and Bobby Lashley match, after the Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins versus Dolph Ziggler. I mean, this is all after this. It's the end of the show. You're closing our nights off.
Well, I think
with No Way Jose and Mojo Rawley. That's going to be one of the last things we think about.
I think they're thinking maybe if they put it in the beginning of the show, it's going to lower the morale. You're not going to be excited for the show.
Yeah.
Like, imagine like you bought tickets to Raw. You've been sitting in the stands. You got your snacks and everything, and you waiting for the show. And the music goes off, and out comes No Way Jose and Mojo Rawley.
Wait, I got a better question. Would you swap this match for the Ember Moon and Liv Morgan match?
Yes.
No, they were both garbage and shouldn't have been on the card in the first place.
No, I'm just saying
No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't
switch places.
Okay. Yeah. Okay then. So.
Well, actually, how about technically. Yeah, you could, because, and it's shitty to say, but we don't judge the women's matches by the same standard we do the men's. We can get away with, we didn't just sit there and attack the Ember Moon and Liv Morgan match. We were like, yeah, we were disappointed because, this person's good and this person's good. We didn't think that both of those people were low, didn't deserve to be on the card where they were. I think that, if anything, No Way Jose and Mojo Rawley should be doing live shows until they get a pop. They shouldn't be on Raw when there's all these other people that aren't even making it on Raw right now.
Agreed.
Yeah.
So.
No.
What, man?
Okay. So after this, we had Nia Jax versus Mickie James.
Hey, Mickey James in action, actually.
Yeah, Mickey James.
Finally.
I mean, we saw her in a promo last week, so we figured she'll be back in action.
Yep.
I didn't really think she would
There
be,
she is,
but
back in action.
I mean, I think.
You think they just did it for this one?
Yeah,
time
I
or
think
something?
once Mickey James' contract is up, she's gone. And you know, much
How long is it
respect to
supposed
Mickey
to be?
James though. She's a veteran of the women's division. Done some good stuff in
My
her
question
time.
is Nia Jax like just this revolving heel face thing? Because I swear
Oh.
2 weeks ago she was a heel.
I don't know anymore.
Right, literally, she was a heel with Ronda Rousey 2 weeks ago talking all this shit, and now all of a sudden she's back to being a face against Alexa and Mickey with Natalia, Ronda Rousey's quote-unquote training partner and best friend at her side. I'm kind of confused by this whole
It's revenge.
how that works. They're supposed to be enemies or something.
Maybe they went ahead and turned her face again because the heel thing didn't work.
Yeah, I don't know,
They just threw it back.
Nia Jax is like,
No,
I
that's
just
been going on for a while.
guys, hang on a second. Can we talk about what just happened to my show? Yo,
It's been going on for a while since she returned.
Honestly, floating in the air. That's all I was talking about. Sorry.
All right. But yeah, this whole thing is just weird, and it just doesn't make sense to me. Like Sheep said, it's on and off each week. It's not measuring up. So I don't even know what to think of it, and I don't care that much. To be honest.
Me neither.
Same. I agree.
That sounds rude, but I just don't care.
Yeah.
I don't look forward to it. You know, I could go without it. So.
Yeah, I cannot wait to see you know, like what's gonna happen at Extreme.
Anybody else got anything to say about this?
Yeah.
So moving on, and we ended Raw with the Braun Strowman, Kevin Owens incident.
The grading on this was bad. Look at the grading.
This was given an F by Bleacher Report.
I almost agree.
Well,
I think
the ending of it was okay.
It was,
like,
yeah.
Like the ending of it.
I agree with Ben.
That was okay.
I think what made this get a bad rating is it took way too much time.
Is the result?
And the result.
Yeah.
Oh,
the result wasn't that great.
Took too much time.
But
yeah,
I think it took too much time.
It
dragged out too long.
So when was the last time Bleacher Report actually gave an F? Jesus Christ.
Oh. Yeah, I thought I was about to say the Ronda Rousey match.
What could have made this an A is if when they opened up the porta potty, if Kevin Owens was covered in shit, then it would have been an A+.
Oh, that would have.
But he was covered in that blue shit. What is that shit called?
The blue liquid.
It's like the cleaner.
That's all it was.
Liquid shit. The cleaner, yeah.
Well, if he would have been covered in like some fake shit, like it could have been like some melted chocolate or something, like that would have been hilarious.
I don't know, man. Why does Braun Strowman have to tip everything over and shit?
That's what he does.
That shit. I know.
Yeah, because that's actually.
I'm surprised he hasn't tipped over the fucking ring yet.
Oh, yeah, that actually would. Yeah, that would be pretty amazing.
Because there's no way for them to stage that.
Yo, name some stuff like he's tipped
over.
Maybe
like there is.
A lot
of stuff he tips over is like pre-recorded. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
it'd be hard to do that at the ring with all the people looking.
Except for that ambulance thing and whatnot. That thing where the Kane and I think it was Roman, where he like took over that metal structure thing. That was
you mean with Kane and Brock Lesnar?
Oh yeah,
Kane
Oh yeah, that was Brock Lesnar. Right.
It was Kane and Brock Lesnar.
And that stuff can still be pre-recorded.
Yeah, that could have been pre-recorded.
Yeah, it could be pre-recorded. Yeah.
Because anything backstage can be pre-recorded. When they walk back there, they could just be eating sandwiches for all you know, and they're just showing what was pre-recorded up on the Titantron.
Yeah.
Yeah, can we?
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, I kind of actually like what Braun Strowman actually said to that random guy that when he was taking the toilet, straight somewhere, he was like, "Get out of my way!" I was just like, "Oh." Yeah.
That actually did make me laugh when it happened.
Yo, I think that guy must have been saying to himself, "Uh-oh, no, don't."
But I think this segment was, it was okay as I watched it, but it's not something I'm gonna talk about in the future. I'm not gonna remember it. It's not gonna stick in my mind. Yeah, it was.
I don't know. I thought it was corny. And
it was
stupid,
pretty corny. It was like all the kids
the
screaming,
rating.
"He's in the porta potty! He's in the porta potty!"
Oh, so dumb.
It was just.
I didn't care for it. I can't say I agree with the rating. I'd probably just give it a D. I just give it.
I'll give it a D. Yeah.
Yo, I've got one question right now. What would you rate this week of Raw? What would you rate it out of 10?
I don't know. I gotta say, Raw wasn't that great. I mean, if
I'd say overall it'd be about a D.
Yeah, I was gonna say overall. Yeah. The week wasn't that great for Raw and SmackDown.
The week in Raw was that blue shit in a porta potty.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's really nothing notable that happened this week on Raw that I'm gonna remember long term.
Yeah.
I think the reason why I think of that is because isn't Extreme Rules next weekend, so maybe next week we'll see a lot more action before Extreme Rules. So I think they kind of saved it for the week before.
Yeah. Hopefully.
Or the week of Extreme Rules. I can understand that if I'm correct on the date.
I think you're right.
Rules. So we'll probably see a lot more action going down on Raw and SmackDown. I'm hoping so too, but sometimes they do that thing where they don't want to do a lot. They don't want to do a lot on the week because they want to preserve the wrestlers and shit for their matches, but we'll see.
Alright, so moving on to SmackDown Live. Renee Young opened up the show by announcing Team Hell No. Having Team Hell No come out, Kane and Daniel Bryan. They got into a little yes and no argument back and forth about the past history of themselves. And the Usos interrupted, which was for me refreshing. Was happy to see the Usos come out and get them to stop arguing like children. That was great. And which led into more arguing between Daniel Bryan and Kane over, are these guys a wrestling tag team or are they a couple? I don't want to know.
That's what that's the whole thing was back then. When they were a tag team, they would argue all the time and stuff and.
Yes.
It's supposed to be like a cute monster.
Though. I'm not sure if they.
It was.
I'm not sure if they continue with it. I'm not sure if they're gonna still make it as funny as they used to, because knowing WWE, they love to ruin everything when they bring it back. Whenever something happened back then and they try to bring it back, they always ruin it. So I don't see them successfully doing this Team Hell No thing again, because just on that fact of what I said. And here's the thing what I don't agree with. It's annoying to me, and it's not really there for me. It's supposed to be Team Hell No, but Daniel Bryan still has the yes movement going on. He still wears the yes shirt, and he still does the yes stuff. Back when it was Team Hell No, he never did the yes thing. I mean, they did go back and forth with the yes and the no, but Daniel Bryan was the one to say no, and Kane was the one to say yes. And I believe Back then it was where right now it wasn't like that. Like they're going back and forth with Kane saying no and him saying yes. So I don't know. It's not really vibing with me because either change the name or give Daniel Bryan his no gimmick back because it's
You're
not
all,
vibing with me. You can't have
yep.
Team Hell No if you're saying yes and you're wearing yes. It just doesn't make
Well,
sense and it's not
yeah,
there.
well, why don't you just change the name to Team Hell Yes?
That's what I'm saying.
That's
Either
what,
change the name to Team Hell Yes or just
or
give
just
him
give
his
it
old
his gimmick. Yeah.
gimmick back. Yeah, it's because it's not vibing. It's not working. I don't agree with
Yeah,
it.
one thing like I do actually want to ask like very quickly like while we talk about this, is Randy still on SmackDown or no?
As far as I know, yeah.
Some
I don't
strangers
know.
like I don't know
When was the
because
last
like
time he was in a match?
I
Wasn't
don't
he?
freaking even know. Like yeah, that's why I was like asking because like that was going
Wasn't
straight
he in
from
the
my
match not
ears.
long ago though?
I don't know.
It's been a
Like
while.
that's like kind of a little confusing.
It's been a good little while.
Has it really been a
No,
while?
no, he hasn't. But
I can't even remember. I'm brain
yeah,
farting.
it's wait, he was fun for the United States Championship. That's all I remember.
I don't remember. I
Yeah, I
guess.
mean, oh my god, what do they do with Randy? They need to bring him back already.
Sheep, you got anything to say about this Team Hell No segment?
I don't necessarily care about the. I I didn't know him really.
Yeah, I was gonna
From
say you guys don't really have much to say about the Team Hell No thing because you guys weren't around to actually watch
yeah,
when it was a
I don't.
thing.
I mean, being on the outside looking in, it doesn't really bother me that they're called Team Hell No because I understand that it's a nostalgia thing. That's what they were known as when they were a team, so that's what they'll continue to go as. Just like um, I guess I can't think of any other ones that were like that and had a But they did almost sort of address it by, Daniel Bryan, telling Kane that he wasn't doing the yes right, and then they had kind of had the yes lessons or whatever, because
Mhm.
and Kane, you want a yes chant? I'll show you a yes chant.
Yeah, yeah.
So I mean, that kind of made up for it, I think, and that was their reasoning behind that. That's their way out of that. They said, well, if you're worried about why we're still calling them Team Hell No, here's the reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of
But
like the
I
how
don't
like
know. I'm
Kane.
gonna have to ride with it and see what they do with it and how long it's gonna last.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
What-
kind of actually like
how long is it in for a contract? Anybody know? Like,
don't
I know
know.
he was doing the whole mayor thing and he got like this vote thing going on for the mayor thing. Is he still doing that shit?
yes,
Anybody
and
know?
his opponent used the fact that he's wrestling, being featured prominently against him. She said that she didn't think anybody who was trying to be a mayor would be off running around the country wrestling.
Yeah.
Hmm.
To which he basically said, I've been wrestling for 25 plus years. This is what I do. I'm not going to stop.
Yeah.
And I respect that.
Yeah.
So he's still gonna be wrestling even though if he becomes mayor? Is what you're
No,
saying?
he said when he becomes mayor, he'll be mayor. But he said that's not going to stop him from maybe doing something. Sometime he might show up here, or, be here because he's always
okay,
gonna. Yeah.
And
Okay.
despite
I
the
respect that.
fact that I don't like the current role for Kane, much respect to Kane. He's one of my favorites growing up in the WWE. So much respect to him.
God.
I'm glad to. I can say I'm glad to.
It's like it's not like any other wrestler that got a bad role. It's happened multiple times with multiple wrestlers. Come on now.
Yeah.
Well, this isn't just a.
Yes,
It's
I
not
think
necessarily
the
just a
big
bad
red
role. It's a
machine,
complete
but
character change 25 years into his career. It just doesn't make sense. But
it's not a complete character change because he's been through other changes before.
well, I know. I know.
He's done the
I
comedy.
know that.
He's done the comedy stuff before.
I know.
He's done it many times. This is not his first rodeo with
Hey,
changes.
look, this is better than corporate Kane by far. So
Yeah,
I'll take it.
Definitely. Chief, I'm gonna have to
Kane.
agree with you that this is
I didn't like that shit either. Like I haven't. cared for Kane since his
Nobody
original
liked
story
corporate.
change.
Yeah.
Yo, who was he
Nobody
like
likes.
freaking feuding with like when he was corporate Kane? Who was like bloody feuding with? Like, no one.
Whoever was the face,
Like-
probably John Cena or some shit, or CM Punk. Or something.
Yeah, I know. Like he did get a couple feuds with Ryback. I know that, but like it's just not even like a feud anyway. But like, yeah, I did actually like how Kane like said like that like he's always had Daniel Bryan's back, like you know, like throughout the years that Kane has actually put Daniel Bryan through torture, and they did explain like they went through all the history, and then like Daniel Bryan would say, oh yeah, you tombstone me on the concrete, steel steps,
Yeah,
and even on
yeah.
the table.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what I kind of liked about like this the opening segment, but I don't know like where it's gonna go from here. Like I know like if they do win the tag team championships, half me could actually see Kane turn on Daniel Bryan, and then of course they're gonna have that whole rivalry again, which I don't think anyone really wants to see another Kane versus Daniel Bryan rivalry. I don't think anyone wants to see it anymore. I've already seen it too many times.
You know what's
So,
Well,
funny
see,
though?
but for me, I wouldn't
what's
mind
really
seeing
funny?
it because I've never seen it. And I would prefer
Yeah.
I don't
that
think.
heel Kane. I would prefer him to turn on Daniel Bryan. So for me, that would be entertaining. So there is a fan base for it.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's plenty of people out
Also-
there that agree with me on this. There's plenty that
Yeah.
don't. Like I said, we all interpret things differently. That's what makes the WWE relevant and in existence is we take things.
Yeah.
If everybody felt the same way about everything, then it wouldn't be possible. There would be no discussions about it. You're like, oh, you like that? Yeah, me too. Okay, have a nice day. That would be okay.
GG.
So let's move on, guys. Jeff Hardy had an Independence Day United States Championship Open Challenge,
Yep.
and
Wait. Before we move on, can I just say something? Say something?
go ahead.
All right,
ahead.
Kane. Do a Google search, Doomsday Kane. Now that's some cringy shit.
Wait,
That's
what?
some cringy shit. Look up
Wait, what
Doomsday Kane
Oh no!
and look at
don't
the
tell me. I
pictures.
think-
That's some cringy ass shit. Or even Christmas Creature Kane. That's
Oh,
some
no.
cringy ass shit. It's some indie promo stuff that he's done. I heard about
Mhm.
a while back.
Oh,
And it's
Doomsday.
cringy ass shit.
God,
It's
I
really
okay,
cringy.
yeah, I literally just saw it.
You
Oh
did?
my God. Yep.
The cringiest one is the Doomsday one.
Oh,
That shit is
God.
cringy as fuck. It gives me nightmares just looking at it.
Oh, yep. Why'd I just start watching that? Oh my God. Nope. I don't want to see Doomsday. Yeah, imagine him like making a return. I would really freak
Oh
out.
my god, that would really be the downfall of Kane. You think
Yeah,
we
yeah,
can
oh, yeah, Doomsday.
no, or corporate Kane? Imagine bringing back Doomsday.
Oh,
Fuck that. I'd
Yo,
just
I
be
would love.
like, nope, I'm
yo,
done with E. WWE.
I would see it. Yo, I would love to see that though. Like, it's like bring back an old child.
Place where
Kane,
like
here you go.
shit.
Doomsday. Bring back Doomsday Kane, please. We all, no, I want to see that. Oh God.
Alright, you would want to see
Alright.
that. Alright.
Okay.
Doomsday
You would
Kane.
like to see that gimp in action.
Oh shit. Yo, yo, I'll say this right now. Half the people wouldn't even know who he is. So I'm just saying.
Alright, let's move on. I just wanted to say that since we were talking about Kane.
Raph.
So, Jeff Hardy versus The Miz in the open challenge.
It was
I thought this was a good match.
Really
I
good
liked
match.
it. Yeah. It's probably the best match of the... Actually, it was the best match of the entire show. From what I recall.
You sure? You sure it was better than Oscar versus Ellsworth?
Oh my God, no.
Nah,
That
wait.
match ended.
I
don't
agree.
know.
I'll say this right now,
versus
that match
Ellsworth?
Alright, well, let's talk about that when we get to it. I think this was Jeff Hardy's
Yeah.
best in-ring performance in a good while. I was taken by surprise because I honestly thought this was finally the moment Randy Orton was going to come back onto the show and answer to the match, but
Wait, is
I was
he?
pretty surprised by the Miz
Wait,
coming
he's-
out for some odd reason. I was surprised by it, but
Yeah.
I wasn't unhappy with it. I was just surprised. It was a great match between the two. A match I would look forward to, you know, when Jeff Hardy first came to SmackDown, and then Miz
Yeah,
comes
I just
over. I
realized-
was looking forward to it.
Yeah, no, I want to see
So-
this.
It was good. It was all good.
It's
all
all
good.
good.
And of course, we
Okay.
know this match was.
Yeah, I'm
It's
just like,
all
Isn't this
that.
the match that was booked because of the Shinsuke injury? It was supposed to be Jeff Hardy versus
Yeah.
Shinsuke for the
Mhm.
United States title.
Yep,
So he did the open challenge
that's what it was
instead.
supposed to be.
And honestly, this match was probably better than the match versus Shinsuke would have been. I think.
yeah.
I'm not saying blatantly that the Miz is better than Shinsuke or anything like that. I think this match in general was just that good.
Yeah,
Not
I
that
agree.
Shinsuke can't put on
He
a
was
good
really
match with
good.
Jeff Hardy. I'm just saying.
yeah. Because that would be good. I would like it.
I also agree. I think that the Miz was a welcome surprise. I didn't expect to hear the Miz's music
Yeah, I
either.
didn't expect. Yeah, the Miz.
I thought I was going to hear some jobbers music. I
Me too.
didn't think I was going to
It
hear.
was either Randy Orton or some jobber for me. Is who I thought.
I didn't think it was going to be Randy Orton because that's like.
Well, I only thought that because it would have been a big
Uh,
pop. Like it was unexpected.
It would have been a big
Yeah.
I
pop.
expected the unexpected.
I just thought it was going to be a jobber. You know, I just knew, or you know, like somebody straight up heel, like asshole heel.
Well, I
Um,
felt like it had to be somebody of some importance, being Independence Day Open Challenge. It had to be a good match. It would have been
Oh
kinda
yeah, that's why I thought
disrespectful
maybe
to-
a foreign heel or something like
yeah,
that.
yeah, that would have made sense.
WWE tends to do corny shit like that. Oh, it's 4th of July. Let's put somebody in there and make them chant USA all day.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I'm
I
surprised
agree
we
with
didn't see that.
I'm glad we didn't see that, to be
I am
honest.
glad. Yeah, I'm
It was a
definitely
good thing.
glad.
Great match. Probably not the best match of the night, but, you know, we'll go to that later.
All right.
I love that we're getting open challenges regularly.
Yeah, that's something you don't see with the Universal title, huh?
All right, throw a little shade in there.
Yeah, I
You don't-
think that might actually be like
definitely
just some
don't see
shade
open,
that
yeah.
I am.
You don't see challenges, period. What do you mean, much less open ones?
You know, freaking.
What our open challenge? What our challenge?
Yeah,
But-
we're all.
See, oh
open
wow,
challenge, anyway.
so you kicked him out for that,
I knew
man.
somebody's gonna say that as soon as I seen it.
Hi. They already
I've had
kicked you
enough
out.
of the Brock. Oh no, I can't even talk. Phil, I've had enough of the
That's
Brock Lesnar
why.
bashing in this podcast, and I'm
He's got you
Well,
affected.
you want to know something, dude? I was about to like just say anything, so I'm not gonna
I
say
said
it anymore
Bach.
because I'm really done with
So laying down the band hammer.
the band hammer. The door.
I guess he'll come back in a second. Maybe power
Like,
went
oh,
out.
And
everybody-
Street. Yeah, there you go, Street. I just-
everybody's soul kicked me out of the parties. I talked about Brock.
Oh my
We're gonna talk about
god!
the
I
next
literally
15
just
minutes.
looked up. Can I actually just say something, guys? I like literally just looked up that thing, like about the cane thing, the Christmas creature. I just looked it up.
All right, let's save that for the end of the show, and let's guys have anything else to say about Jeff Hardy versus The Miz?
No. Oh, actually, it was kind of a little bit of a good match, but I didn't watch this because me on the event, I was like, this is Nathan all
I
day.
don't think he can get back in the party, so I think we'll have to join his. He sent me another invite.
Okay.
Oh my god! Oh, someone actually literally I just accidentally hit my desk.
My thing just got disconnected.
Here we go again.
Yeah, they're going on a big theory about me kicking you out of the party for you talking about Brock Lesnar.
No, my shit
We are
got
back.
disconnected.
We're back.
It's all
Got
good.
disconnected.
Street,
Just
did
Where
you
were
have
we?
anything else to say about Jeff Hardy versus The Miz?
I don't even know what I was saying before, so nah. Before my shit got messed up, so.
Okay, well, we can move on to. This is a segment that I was very disappointed by because, believe it or not, I know Street's gonna be triggered, but I was very excited by the pancake eating competition. I really wanted to see who could win it. Like, I thought they were legitimately having a pancake eating competition, and
I'm happy
I
that
wanted to
shit got
see, and
ended.
I wanted to see who could eat the
I'm
most
happy.
pancakes. I was hyped up for this, and
Oh yeah,
I was
you
hyped
really
as
wanted
shit.
to see
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
yeah,
And I
you
am.
they
know,
did. They
So
did kind of.
sorry.
They did set it up. They like gave the world record and
Yeah,
stuff
and
like
then it
that. So
was
you would have. I was like, man, are they going for records?
the
You know, we're gonna
3rd
see
of
Big E break a
July
Guinness record.
pancake eating contest. Like, it's
Hey,
supposed
wait,
to be
why does it have to be Big E, huh? Just because
Because he
he's a
looks
big
like
guy?
he can hold the most pancakes. He's got big in
This
his
was
name.
for
Goddammit.
the holidays, man. This was
A
supposed to
little
be a
bit
big
of
deal.
Come on, man.
No, man. Come
Yeah,
on,
man.
it was the
man.
third. It was the 3rd of
What, big
July
man?
pancake
It's
eating.
supposed to be a big
Wow.
deal, and I've never been more.
Nah.
You know, all the good stuff that I've said about Sanity the past few weeks, I'm taking it all back. They disappointed me and
Why?
pissed me off. They came out there and
Did it now, sucker.
exactly.
I kind of actually respect it now. I'm gonna say it now, dude. I'm like really
I
respecting
don't care
it
about the
because, like,
fucking pancakes.
They
I didn't want to
thank
see that
God.
shit.
We know you love
Yo,
New Day
what?
secretly, and you just
Yo,
have to
can
act
we-
like this.
They can shove those pancakes
This
up
is
their ass
just,
for all I
this is
care.
just,
How could you
this
not
is
care
just
about
Street
this?
being kayfabe. He really loves New Day, you guys. Don't let him fool
Why
you.
would I care
How
about
could you
that?
not?
Why would I care about pancakes?
Wow.
Why would I care about them eating pancakes? What's the whole thing about them and food? What is
Because
this?
who doesn't love food? Exactly.
Me. Oh, wait.
I'm not saying there. Oh, I wish there'd be a lot of
I love
food thrown
food.
around in WWE other than wrestling. Yeah.
I think I know what it is. I think Street's a waffle guy.
Oh god.
Actually,
I do like waffle. I
waffles,
prefer
so
waffles
you're right
over
about
pancakes
that.
myself.
Yeah, but you
But
said it.
I like waffles, but crepes is my shit.
I'm
I love
great. So I'm a fancy guy.
Yeah.
It was a crepe eating contest.
Crepes is my shit.
No, I'm exaggerating about my excitement for it, but I was legitimately excited for it. Not as much as I'm going on about, but this also. I remember last week. This totally contradicts what I said about Sanity last week. Last week I said I don't see them as heels. I don't see them as attacking people for no reason, and then they did the total opposite this week. So I was wrong.
Yo, can I actually let's just say something? So, I find like this is like them like just trying to send a message to like every tag team, like just saying that they've arrived, they're here, and they like literally like, just want to make a big statement. What attacking the New Day?
Yeah.
Well, the New Day, they are longest reigning tag team champions. Gonna say that right now, but if you take like one of the biggest tag teams at the moment, they could get the attention of two people that are current SmackDown tag team champions, Bludgeon Brothers. That could be a little bit of a statement. I could be thinking like outside the box, but I don't know.
Oh, yeah?
That's what I could be saying to
thinking?
myself.
So you don't
Yeah.
think?
Yo,
I think
kinda
this
do want to
might
see, like,
be
a Sanity versus New
the
Day.
build-up that Street's been waiting for.
Sanity versus New Day.
Agreed, because they just
Sanity and Bludgeon Brothers joining together, and New Day and Usos having to join together to take them down.
because they just had a little thing with
You
the
think so?
Usos as well.
Yeah. I didn't see it.
That's true. Oh my.
The Nuso Day.
Oh, God.
But if they do it, they gotta change their name. They gotta change their attire.
So Street, you
can't
feel
walk
so
around with their
strongly
fucking clown uniforms.
against the New Day, yet you'd like to see them team up with the Usos, who you love and adore.
I don't
How's that
like
work?
their gimmick. I like them as the wrestlers, but just not their gimmick, alright?
What do you have against
Is it
positivity?
Yeah, what's wrong with positivity, bro?
Yeah,
Are you a negative?
power-
Are you a negative Nancy over here?
No.
You got a negative
Streetkilln HD, don't you
no.
dare be sound.
Because I'm the one to say I didn't really like The
Streetkilln's like that guy from Up.
I didn't like Uso's old gimmick. So.
Wait, which character from Up are you trying to talk about?
The old man in the house, except for at the end when he was
the old
good,
man or
just
the little
kinda
boy. Take your
asshole.
pick, man. Which one do you think
I
fits?
thought that you were. I really thought you were talking about the small kid.
Wow, you had a 50-50 shot. You ruined it.
I'm sorry.
Can we just skip this next segment, you guys? Do we even have to?
Are you talking about match of the year?
Oh my god.
This was a little bit of the battle of the sexes.
Battle of the century.
No, the battle of the sexes.
Look, people will remember this.
Ellsworth.
People will remember this day.
This
for the
was
rest
the
of
best.
They'll remember where they
best.
were when Asuka and Ellsworth fought. They'll remember that shit. Like the day JFK got shot. You know, they'll remember this day. It's like it will forever.
Yeah, Asuka and Ellsworth. This. Okay, I'm gonna have to say this. Like, Asuka, she's freaking strong, but Ellsworth, come on, how? Ellsworth, nope.
Of course, my headset just died on me.
I was. Guys, can I say something? I was going for Ellsworth to win this.
Yeah, like I was saying, this was the best of the best of the best
of the best of the best of the best of the best of the best of the best. Yeah.
Heyman, say something stupid. You guys remember that segment? Oh no, you guys don't remember that segment because that's when CM Punk was playing.
Hey, guess what? Streak. Guess what, Streak?
That was supposed to be the best of the best.
I watched it.
The best of the best of the best.
Streak, I actually watched that.
Well, I'm the best and I'm the beast.
The beast
Heyman, say
and
something
the best.
Stupid. Yeah.
Nothing. Imagine he's like
Good
what Paul
times,
Heyman's
good
like. Yeah, definitely.
Good times. I wanted Ellsworth to win just because I wanted to see that. I actually just wanted the Ellsworth.
I have nothing to say about this.
I just wanted to see like
when you guys are ready,
win.
let me know.
Oh, I want to sit here and dwell on this match and talk about a little bit.
Match should happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they're gonna bring the intergender.
What is even happening about that title?
Hey, look, if you're gonna be about equality, the women should fight the men.
What promotion even holds that title? Title. Let me look it up.
Nobody. The Ellsworth promotion.
No, he actually made it. Ellsworth made it, and then I think he designed it.
Oh, Ellsworth. It's Ellsworth.
Yeah, Ellsworth actually. Yeah. Ellsworth came up with the idea, and he's been defending it around the world against females.
So we could have a possibility of seeing that then in WWE.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could have a possibility of seeing that. That would be interesting though, because
I highly
honestly,
disagree.
I did want to see Ellsworth win just because of the last. I mean, it wouldn't be all serious. Come on, it's a joke. Even if Ellsworth won, and people would be like, "Oh my God, he won against Asuka. That's bullshit." Nah, come on, dude. It's just all jokes, man.
And look, it brings back. It gives you the chance to bring back those types of characters that can wrestle girls in the comedy type sense.
Yeah.
Like not only Ellsworth. Think about like Santino Marella.
Yeah, exactly.
Like there's, any of these people can like really pull it off on a comedy aspect. And even if you got somebody big and more intimidating, like what if one of these girls, what if Asuka beat up Baron Corbin or something? You know, that would be awesome.
I would be like I would definitely be like a very immune to it. I'll just like, thank God someone beat up Baron Corbin.
Because it would be entertaining to watch. It'd be entertaining to watch. I mean, Ellsworth doesn't have to go on a fucking reign. Like, he doesn't have to defeat, like, every fucking woman or anything. He could just have a couple
Picture
matches.
how funny it would be if Ellsworth was the undefeated intergender champion for, like, 6 months, and nobody could get the belt off of him. He's running around like a cocky little shit. I hate Ellsworth.
Exactly.
I hate him. I hate his, it's so cringy that it doesn't deserve to be on TV, in my opinion. Like, his shot was over when he should have got his 15 minutes of fame and been done.
But
I don't
that's the
think
thing
he's
though.
funny.
He kept himself relevant enough to actually get thrown back into WWE.
He did,
Like,
and it's on him. I applaud
props
his
to that
effort.
dude.
What?
He's doing something right. I mean, even
I
though
give
a
him
lot of
that.
people hate him and like what you're saying, like
Yeah,
he's
but
cringy and shit.
James Ellsworth is getting
But-
screen time and Ty Dillinger isn't. I don't want to live in this world.
Yeah, but you can say that with every other fucking wrestler that they give screen time to, and that could have been for other talent. Did Roman really need 2 fights?
matches?
Did he really?
Yeah, but
Did
Roman
they really
Reigns
need to do that last
Roman
match?
Reigns is not
with the whole
Ellsworth.
Did they
what he's
really
trying
need to
to
do that
say.
last match with Braun Strowman and
I'm saying,
like,
Braun
all these secret
Strowman.
I'm
segments
saying
and
there's
shit?
there's actual good, hard-working, talented
Talent.
superstars that deserve screen time, and they're plugging it with James Ellsworth, and I think it's disrespectful.
Who cares? What other wrestler can you? Could
They
throw out
don't
there to
need
fight
this.
a
They're the
female?
WWE. They don't need
But
this
look,
intergender
but-
bullshit. It's not that entertaining. I can see where you find
It's not the-
I can see where you find it
Yeah,
funny and
intergender.
entertaining. I get it, but it's not necessary.
No, I don't think you do.
I
get
do
it.
get
That's
it.
the
I
thing,
get it
is You're saying
100%.
it's not funny,
Yo,
but you're
remember,
saying you
two
get
hands
it.
with a fighting chance.
I said
You
it's
say
not
it's not
that
good
funny.
enough.
I said I can see how you can find it entertaining.
Well,
I think it
funny, but
would
don't-
go somewhere. I mean, they don't have to drag it on for a long time, like 6 months, like he said. I could only see a couple months for
Yeah,
it.
James
I mean,
Ellsworth was.
James Ellsworth.
Ellsworth. Yep, Ellsworth was. Yeah, he
Ellsworth
pushed
was over here.
DC. Yeah.
But
Uh,
yeah,
To me, he's just doing the same bullshit that he did last time.
I understand.
He's not doing anything
Yeah, I
new.
understand this aspect where Soul's coming from. I understand the aspect where you're coming from, Soul. I understand it completely. I get it. But the thing is, they do a lot of shit already in WWE that they don't have to do. You know what I'm saying? They already do a lot of fucking shit on WWE.
I know. I'm just saying
Especially with the
they already
promo
had
shits that
James
they do.
Ellsworth had his little run before. Why re-sign him and let him do the same bullshit all over again? It's the same thing.
Look, here it is. Here's where it really boils down to. It's to keep Carmella relevant. It's not really
Yeah,
about James
basically.
Ellsworth at all.
Oh
It's
my
about
Yeah, it
Carmella.
really
It
is.
was to give Carmella screen time and to keep something fresh instead of having her just go back to. It's to give her a way to beat the people that she's wrestling against, and people will believe it because she'll have Ellsworth again. And at some point, Ellsworth is going to turn on her, and it's going to be, he's going to try to take her belt or something. And I think that would be funny if Ellsworth took Carmella's belt.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
would be
that'd be
pretty
hilarious.
a pretty good segment.
It's not hopeless, Soul. That's all I'm
No,
saying.
I know.
Don't
I'm not-
give up.
Yeah, I would love to.
I hate Ellsworth, but I mean,
I would love to see like the
there's a chance.
Intergender Championship defended on SmackDown. That'd be a freaking good time. But,
It's just another
I
title
don't-
for women too.
I
even
don't
if it
want to
does
see an
switch hands back and forth.
intergender championship. I think that's what I'm all riled up about.
I
is that
do.
I don't want to see that.
I want to.
I think
do,
Soul
'cause, like-
doesn't care for women's rights here.
You don't think
Yeah,
women deserve to
They
have
have
the
a
same
title.
belts that men have? Soul? Oh, they
You
have a
don't-
title.
yeah.
They should just be
Oh, they
happy with
have a
their
title, but they shouldn't
They
be
got their
fighting
special
men.
women's title that's for women only. Only women can have the title.
Oh, yeah,
they can't
that's
touch the
Soul.
man
Oh,
so
title.
what's next
Man
thing?
title's only for men.
Do you want to see women and men fight each other in the UFC as well?
Hey,
Yes!
they pushed this whole women's
The
thing.
UFC?
Look,
I wanna-
did you hear Ben? Yes.
In the
Yes!
UFC,
They're
man?
already
Yeah.
doing.
Please do.
Listen, they're already doing the mixed match shit. So what's the deal?
Look, they're letting women on college wrestling teams that are
So
all men.
all jokes and all trolling aside here, let me ask a serious general question.
Okay. Serious
Going
question.
forward,
see it.
going
I'll
forward,
actually-
you guys legitimately want to see the main roster of Raw and SmackDown just being one big roster. Any men, any women can interrupt, promo, attack, book matches for pay-per-views, man versus women. Just there's no such thing as a men's roster and a women's roster anymore. That's what you want to see. Your roster united. That's what you're saying.
No,
Yes.
so.
No,
I don't.
Ben says yes.
So, come on.
The one
She
person.
says no.
Yeah, the one person that No.
No, I say no
Guys,
as well. I'm just saying.
That's why there shouldn't be an intergender title.
More matches.
Because that's what that
would
means.
be like a lot of ways
no,
funny.
that's
To some extent, we're trolling, but and what I'm saying is that it could be fun.
yeah.
Yeah, it could be.
Remember, everybody remembers
And
when
it gives
Beth
more
Phoenix won the
opportunity for
Intercontinental
women
belt.
too.
Yo,
I mean,
like I was
just saying. Like I was saying, there's only one women's belt on each
all
brand.
this-
That's also what I'm saying. It would be a big movement for the women's empowerment thing. It would be. It would
Yeah,
give them
since the
credibility.
whole
It
women's
would
thing they're
attract more
doing, the first
women
ever
viewers.
women's this.
From a business standpoint, it makes sense. It's a good message to send across to the women that women can do what men can do. Women can wrestle.
Exactly.
A woman can wrestle.
I
a man.
disagree, and
I mean,
I disagree. Let me tell you why. When I said, "Oh, they do have a title," and then she went on to say, "Oh, well, the special women's title, the intergender title is gonna be the same thing." You're saying, "Oh, you can win the women's title or you can win the intergender title, but you're never gonna win the Universal Championship or the WWE Championship
It's
or the
gonna
United
be a
States
storyline
Championship."
thing where
It's
the only men
Yeah,
who
it makes me like a
the only
storyline.
men who are gonna go for a title that's
listen,
intergender are gonna be
so
sneaky
sheep.
guys.
So sheep.
It's still not
Listen,
empowering women though,
you're
because you're
saying
still
that they
limiting
can't win
them to that title. It's
Okay,
not
but
the same.
wouldn't you like to see more women in action for something other than just the women's title? Like
Yeah,
I was,
I definitely
like bring it back to another title.
The only thing I
for the
want to
women's
see
division.
for the
Like,
only thing
what are we doing?
the
with
only thing I want
women?
to see is a women's tag team championship would be good. After that, no, that's it.
Yo, so do I actually want to see that title shot, but like, yo, it could be like good for like a little bit of like, you know, like a little bit of entertainment business. That's what I'd love to see.
I don't think that there's so many women that they
Yeah.
need like 4 titles. Like you have the women's championship and a women's tag team championship would be a cool
let's just
thing
talk
to
about
do.
the Universal title for a very quick minute, dude. But the Universal title is like already irrelevant anyway, so you know.
True.
What does that have to do with the topic?
Look, so when I'm talking about when I say an intergender title, I'm not saying that this is something that's going to be in the legacy of the WWE forever. It's going to be some prestigious belt that wants to be held.
Yeah,
It's a comedy
exactly.
bit.
It's
It's
not-
a
yeah,
joke.
it's
It's a
a
joke
comedy.
title. It's not a serious title. It's not
Exactly,
something
that's
people
what
are
we're
really
just
trying. The
talking
people
about.
the men who would go for the intergender title are
Yeah, like
Ellsworth,
jobbers or something.
the Miz, Kurt Hawkins, you know, people who really need a win, and it still wouldn't work. The women would beat them every time because it would be a running joke, and it wouldn't last long. Maybe a couple months. It would be just a little thing, like it would last about as long as Breezango did, as the
Wow.
the Fashion Files.
Ooh.
Now you're just
Well,
really
it's
trying to
right
piss me
now.
off, aren't you? Now you're talking about
It
Breezango.
would just. It's just a breath of fresh air.
No, I
It's
know,
not
I
necessarily-
get it, I get it.
now.
I get
hate
it. I understand
Ellsworth.
where you guys are coming from. I do.
But
You guys just started when I started
getting
stating my opinion. You guys started trolling, so which made me have to defend it, and then you're taking me ultra extra seriously, and now you're trying to. Exactly.
We got you.
Exactly. You don't have to explain your reasoning to me. I already understood from the get-go where you were going
Can
with
I
it.
actually like also like?
I just don't. I understand what you're saying, but I don't
Yeah,
agree with it. I don't want to see it at all. Period.
Yeah, but I actually
It might
will say
be
this
funny,
right now,
but
guys,
I don't
like,
care to see it. There's all they can bring the Fashion Files back and have women involved in it, and that'll be funny, and we'll all be happy. We don't need an intergender
Ooh,
title.
a promo with
Yeah,
women
it's
in it.
hilarious.
GG.
Yeah, I will say this like.
I don't
right
wanna
now,
see-
guys, like.
Why would you ever want to?
we're kidding, okay? That's
No,
my
well, why
fault.
would you
We
ever want
literally
to? Why do you want
wasted
to see
20
James
minutes on
Ellsworth
this.
wrestle another woman?
We're really triggering.
It's so
Soul
bad.
Ellsworth,
It's so
Ellsworth,
cringy.
Ellsworth,
Yo,
and
tell
Soul.
us always have
Soul's
win
good.
I don't want to
Really
see it
good.
again.
This is as triggered as he's been with Brock
I
Lesnar
do.
discussion.
Because like you know, like you
Ben,
know,
because
freaking Ellsworth is like more
Ben,
better.
you ate too much chicken salt or something.
Soul's
You can't
getting
think
really
straight.
triggered. You don't want to trigger Soul.
You want to say?
Maybe we should just talk
Don't
about
worry.
Brock Lesnar and getting more triggered.
Yeah,
wanna get
let's
more
just say.
triggered,
No,
Soul?
let's just
say,
move
oh,
on.
Yeah,
Brock Lesnar,
yeah,
Brock Lesnar, Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, let's just
He's
say.
like,
Lesnar.
oh,
Brock Lesnar would lose the intergender championship to Ellsworth.
Oh my god.
Oh my God.
I might even look at that title right now.
This is a bad
right now. Don't worry.
What if they did it?
Ellsworth with the no chin music.
What if they did a thing where
James
James
that's it.
Ellsworth was like Brock
Guys, I
Lesnar's
mean-
little brother or some shit?
No, even better. Make it a double title match. Universal title and intergender title on the line.
No, actually,
And
actually,
have
No,
Ellsworth
James, look,
win
James
that.
Ellsworth. If James Ellsworth fought Brock Lesnar, he would have to debut a new special move called the F-Zero.
yo.
Dude.
Oh.
Yo, I could see Ellsworth actually just getting
Imagine
that
Ellsworth
like, just
picking up
using
Brock
that against-
Lesnar on his shoulder.
Yeah, they
That
go.
Oh
would
my
get
God.
if that were possible, that would get the hugest pop I have ever seen. Oh, you could not imagine the pop if Ellsworth picked up Brock
Everybody-
Lesnar.
You know what? Everybody will have that face.
Alright, guys,
of
I
that,
gotta run to the restroom.
Black
I'll be
kid.
right back.
You remember that
Okay.
black kid's reaction? Where that fucking eyes wide open? Remember that kid in the crowd?
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
what everybody's reaction will be.
Okay, I will say
Does that
this
actually
right
happen?
now. I have just sent something in Discord, but I'm not gonna say it right now. You guys can
You just
literally
said it.
think right. Sorry. Yeah, but it's
So,
it's
yeah.
something that could be like in the works.
Soul wanted to talk about the Aiden English and AJ Styles match next. I don't know if you want us to wait or
Yep.
whatever, but
Yeah. Yeah, I
this
didn't
was
like
just a
this
match
design.
because of, they don't really want to have AJ versus Rusev yet, and what better than just put Aiden English in there and have him fight AJ. I mean, it was a match just because of that reason, and I mean, of course, Styles defeated English by submission. For people that don't know, yeah, he won by submission with the calf crusher, and I believe the Brute came in, started attacking AJ Styles, and then locked him into the accolade. Kind of just, does what he does there. Rusev, a little bit of Rusev Day at the end of that match, I guess you would say.
Rusev Day, and so, yeah.
I mean, the match was alright. It was good. I mean, I'm not gonna bash on and say it was the worst match ever. It wasn't even that great, but it was a match because of the whole thing I said. I mean, they don't want to have Rusev and AJ in a match before.
This was the equivalent of a Singh brother versus AJ Styles.
Yeah, exactly.
Or a Miz Taraj member when they were the Miz Taraj. It was literally a better guy facing a crony, and it's kind of English. I don't see going past the point of jobber. Really ever.
From what I remember about the news going on with English is that his contract's gonna be coming up pretty soon, and he's not gonna re-sign with WWE. He's just gonna be out of WWE, and I guess they might as well just put him in some action and whatnot. I mean, they have been putting English in matches recently. Matches
well, maybe he'll go back
Rusev.
to one of the independent companies and team back up with Gotch there or something.
Maybe.
I don't know.
But I don't know because didn't Gotch want to leave? Like, didn't he want no part of the tag team and wanted to go his own way? I'm pretty sure that was what that was when he ended up leaving. He said something about it was good that he left because he wanted to go his own way and wanted to do solo. He was saying that not to be rude or anything. He wasn't like bashing on Aiden English. He was saying that Aiden English, had momentum and had talent to be, a solo wrestler as well. But I believe his whole thing was that he wanted to be a solo wrestler.
Yeah, that vaudevillain's gimmick just seemed like tailor-made for like another promotion, not WWE. I think it could have been if they would have stuck to the whole quiet and the heel tactics that they were using. I think I liked the gimmick at first.
Gotch got fired because he got in a fight with Sin Cara backstage. That's like why Gotch got fired. Cause
That's how we departed. I don't remember how we departed. Like if he got fired or if his contract was over or whatever. But I know he was in an interview talking about on his relations and whatnot.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean it was a good match. It was, well,
Yeah, I
not
will
good
say.
as good, but it was decent, I should say.
Yeah, I think. Oh, good. Yeah, I can
So,
actually.
Chase said James Ellsworth for Shawn Michaels. Shane Michaels?
Shane
Shawn Michaels. Chinless music for Sweet Chin music.
Yep. That's good.
Yeah, we know who wins that. Ellsworth
Yeah.
every time.
Ellsworth.
Well,
Every
Shawn
time.
Michaels also. Oh, wait, that's right. James also doesn't even have a chin. What that?
I don't know if Soul wants us to move on here. Or
I think
wait,
I think we all have to. I think we all move on. We'll just move on.
Oh, should we, Ben? I'm glad you think so highly of Soul.
Sorry, Soul, but yeah.
I think he wanted to talk about this, but I guess he's
Yeah.
got to squeeze one out there.
Oh my God, really? Nah, he went to go smoke his cancer stick real quick.
No, I said he had to go to the bathroom. He's dropping a deuce.
Yeah, that's what he said. That's what he said.
We will be right back after these commercial headlines.
Commercial headlines, is that what they call it?
Sunday.
What is this Sunday? Nothing.
Sunday afternoon.
Monster
Truck
Madness.
Podcast.
Cars crushing, metal on metal, sparks and fire.
I actually went to a monster truck event in my in my area. Well, when
This
it was
is what we
here.
do here on Dat Wrasslin podcast.
It was actually pretty good. I never went to a monster truck event, and I went and it was pretty decent. It was good.
Yes, I did want to say something
other
about
than the
this.
noise, other than the fucking noise.
Good thing we stalled. Good thing we stalled. Soul has an opinion.
It's not necessarily about the match. It's
We
more
already
about
talked about it.
Rusev. The match is a cliche booking of lead up to Extreme Rules. I knew there was going to be AJ Styles versus Aiden English either this week or next week.
Yeah, of course.
I was a little disappointed by how badly English got beaten. I mean, I know it's AJ Styles and Aiden English. I feel like he should have been given the opportunity to put on a little bit better of a match on his end, because I feel like he deserves the respect. Obviously, he's not going to put on a fantastic match against AJ Styles. They're going to make AJ Styles look like he can't compete, or that Aiden is even on his level. But it should have been a little bit better. But anyways, what I want to say about Rusev is, before the Rusev Day began, I didn't care much for Rusev. I think a lot of people probably did. And I know Sheep has told
I always talk shit about him.
Yeah, and Sheep has told us a lot about how he is in real life and on his social media, and how he's a good guy and he's funny, and I respect that a lot. And what I'm afraid of for Rusev is I'm afraid that once this Rusev Day has met its peak and it's done and over with, and the Aiden English faction is no longer,
You think Rusev is
I
going to be
think
irrelevant?
Rusev, maybe not irrelevant, but he's going to take a huge hit. And I think the fans are going to turn, and they're not going to care anymore. They're not going to be as involved with him. Because even during...
Well, me personally, to me personally, the Rusev Day thing is already kind of stale.
It is, and...
Like, I think they should have capitalized on it, and if they would have made him a champion a lot sooner.
Yeah, I feel like he should have been a champion
they ruined it when
like 2 months ago.
Yeah, he lost.
You say it's stale, but it's not stale to the
I specifically said to me. I didn't say to the audience. I understand that. I hear the Rusev Day chants.
I know.
To me, it's.
But I just wanted to say that.
But
yeah, to me, that's like a die-hard base, because I think it's in the. I mean,
for me,
not necessarily.
For me, the Rusev Day chants come from Aiden English. They're for Aiden English more than they are for Rusev, in my opinion. And because
are they really
even
though?
when
you think so?
During this segment,
you think so? So you think about those matches that they have, and they say Rusev Day. You think of Aiden English going into that match and interrupting it? You think that's what they want to see?
When I hear Rusev Day, I think of Aiden English. I don't even think of Rusev, to be honest.
I'm opposite.
he made,
I don't,
but
I
he
don't think
made
that at
Rusev
all.
Day what it is.
English Day. Oh, I don't know.
I know that he made what it is.
You don't even
but
think
I
of
don't.
Rusev
I
Day when you
hear
hear
I hear his
Rusev
name
Day?
and I don't even
You don't
think
think
I
of
think
Rusev?
Aiden English, because Aiden English makes it relevant. When during this segment when Rusev's promo was super cringy to me.
I think you're just looking at
I'm gonna
it.
come to your house
I
that you
think you're just
built
looking at
and
it
destroy
as.
it. I was like, even when he said Rusev,
I see what you mean.
when he
It's
said
like, when I
Rusev
hear
Day,
mom's spaghetti, I don't think of my mom's spaghetti. I think of
exactly, just like that.
Yeah.
Same exact thing.
He was trolling
No,
me,
it
by
is.
the
That's
way.
the point though. That's the
Oh,
point though.
God.
Eminem made the term "mom spaghetti" so relevant that you think of Eminem when you hear it. You don't think about your mother making spaghetti. It's the exact same. It makes perfect sense. That was great.
I understand
But
it,
when
but
Rusev said
I
Rusev
still.
Day out of his own mouth during this segment, I didn't feel anything from it. I didn't feel a pop from it. It was like cringy. But if Aiden English says Rusev Day, then the crowd goes insane. I mean, I'm mostly stating facts here. I mean,
let me pinch a nerve
quite
here for you.
an opinion. It's kind of a thing.
Aiden English is Rusev Day.
And look at Lana. He started the Lana Day shit too. Lana wasn't even allowed to wrestle. You know that the creative team threw that together. Had Lana got to come out and do a dance contest with Naomi. She won matches. She got pushed.
I kind of want to say something about the whole quoting stuff. So let's say you hear "eat, sleep, conquer, and repeat." What do you think of?
Brock Lesnar.
All right. So have you ever heard Brock Lesnar say "eat, sleep, conquer, repeat"? Have you ever heard him say that?
No, Paul Heyman said that. Paul Heyman said
that.
Exactly. Paul Heyman is his advocate. I guess you could say Aiden English is the advocate.
Yeah, but you think of Brock Lesnar when he says it.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's basically the same shit. Just imagine fucking what's his face as an advocate. That's basically what he is.
You just said what? Oh my god.
So you're saying you
That's
agree
what
with
English
me?
is an advocate. But you still think of the person. You're saying you don't think. Okay, you just said you think of Brock Lesnar when I said that.
Yeah.
Now put that as Rusev Day. You don't think
I got
of
you.
Rusev?
I understand what you're saying.
I mean, you were just saying when you
hear
heard
Rusev Day, I think of
Rusev
Aiden
say
English.
Rusev Day, you think of Aiden English. It's basically the same thing with Brock Lesnar.
I got you. Yeah, I got you.
If he would have said eat, sleep, conquer, repeat, you would have think of, what's his face instead Paul Heyman instead of Brock Lesnar. I mean, it's a quote. I
think we're taking this way too literally.
It's just a quote. That's all it is.
I was exaggerating to an extent of saying I think of Aiden English. Obviously, I think of Rusev as well. His name's Rusev. You have to think of him.
It's just a representation. Yeah. It's a quote of representation. That's all it is.
I mean, that's Lashley. Who cares? I'd care. Why?
But you guys understand where I'm coming from. I said I'm afraid for Rusev that he's gonna get buried after this whole thing because this is the peak of his career. I just feel like
once he wins the title, he's gonna turn heel. My opinion is once he wins the title, he's gonna turn heel. He's gonna go back to the Bulgarian Brute, and he's just gonna be heel.
Yo, is he gonna turn heel on Aiden English?
Do you think if he turns heel on Aiden English,
I think that's where they're gonna write it.
Do you think Aiden English will get buried, or do you think that he's gonna get?
Yeah, because you weren't here to hear it. I don't know if you know, but Aiden English contract is supposed to be coming up pretty soon. And he's not going to be in the WWE. He hasn't re-signed any other contract.
So you think they just used him as a crutch to build Rusev up and then he's done?
Exactly.
Well, I guess I could see that.
I see.
I mean, it's unfortunate because he's obviously talented.
And turning on Aiden English.
Yeah.
He's obviously a good entertainer.
That's what I see.
So,
yeah,
pretty
definitely.
Disappointing if that is the way it goes, but
we've seen. And he even actually helped freaking Lana actually get the whole Lana Day reaction. So
I don't know. Maybe they could keep him around to continue doing this type of
Lana's
thing.
irrelevant right now. Where is Lana? She's irrelevant.
She was on last week's
She
SmackDown.
is busy.
She was teaming up with
she's busy.
Naomi.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's.
Where are you talking about? Like she's been gone forever. She was there last week.
Yeah, but it wasn't a great match.
But it was a match. You act like she was gone.
I guess.
Where's Lana? Where's Lana?
Where's Lana?
Sorry.
I don't see her.
I
Two
just
weeks,
wanted.
2 weeks
It's
in a row.
probably because
She
it's
did a
probably because
dance
I still
battle
want,
the week before that.
No, it's probably because I want to see an actual single match with her, like a solos match. That's probably why. Like I don't care if she's there. I don't care if she's there doing like a match as a tag team or a stupid promo. I just want to see her in a solos match. I thought she was gonna get a big push from that one solo match she did as she returned, and I thought she was gonna get a big push.
It's going to be a great Rusev Day.
I don't know. It's just it's just stupid feud, and I don't even know where they're going with the whole fucking Lana and Naomi thing. I don't understand it really. It's like, are they supposed to be feuding or are they supposed to be friends? Because one day they're just like doing a fucking dance battle and attacking each other, and then the next day they're in the back saying, "Hey, you want to be friends? Want to do this match or something?" I don't know.
Wait, who are we talking about? Who the hell are we
Oh my
talking
god,
about?
Ben, you're just yeah.
We're talking about Nikki Cross and Becky Lynch.
Yeah, we're moving on and talking about Becky Lynch versus Peyton Royce.
Yep, and you want to say, just because like one of my Australian girls has got freaking buried by Becky Lynch, I'm
one of your Australian girls? Are you an advocate yourself?
Australian girls.
You gonna come out with the Iconics? Call them the Binconics?
Yeah, he is.
No,
we're gonna see Ben in the Iconics pretty soon.
What are you?
No, I'm a fan.
Are you pimping out girls in Australia, Ben? Do we need to call somebody?
No,
call the FBI or something?
They're Australian. I'm Australian.
They call you Gator?
Yeah, come on, Gator. Come on, Kangaroo.
Why? No.
Ben, what's the payroll look like?
No, I'm just saying, like.
Go on, Koala.
Yo, I'm just saying right now that like.
Dingo.
One of my girls lost.
I'm kind of like a little bit salty that.
Put another dingo on the body.
Are you a little chicken salty?
Oh no, a shrimp on the. Oh my god.
Why you put shrimp on the bobby?
I don't know. Yeah, that's
Why
what
do you
some
guys
of
do that?
us. Yeah, that's what some of us Australians that we say like from our Australian history.
Put another shrimp on the bobby.
So, anything about this match, you guys?
No, we can skip and move on. Anyways, Team Hell No versus
Ace. What about Sheep? You got anything to say?
Oh yeah, Sheep's opinion matters here, guys.
Yeah, Sheep's opinion matters. Yeah, mine doesn't though. Guess what? Good night. Good night, guys.
No, and we know how you feel about your girl.
It's good that Becky Lynch is winning.
Oh, good.
Yeah, that's all I took from
It's
this.
definitely good that Becky Lynch.
Hey guys. Bye.
I want Becky Lynch to continue to win, and I want her to get a title. I want her to win a belt. You know, it's kind of unfair that it's been almost 2 years.
It's not a belt, dumbass. It's a title.
It's a title. No, it's a championship.
That?
Actually, both.
Whose quote is
Not
that?
a belt. It's a
Kevin
championship.
Owens.
A prestigious championship.
It's 2018. I will not accept this bullying. Calling me a dumbass.
Nia Jax told us that we didn't have to. We didn't have
Kevin Owens
to.
was the one that said that to a fan. You guys don't remember when Kevin Owens said that to a fan?
What?
He straight up said that to a fan. He said it's not a belt, dumbass. It's a title.
Well, Kevin Owens is a dumbass because it's literally called a
like
championship belt. It goes around your waist. It's literally a belt.
Okay.
It's literally a
I was
belt.
just quoting something that Kevin Owens said.
I know, that's why I said Kevin Owens. I didn't say you're a dumbass. I said Kevin Owens. I mean, you are too, but that's for other reasons, and that's for a whole nother. That's for a whole other show. Yeah, this is not for
And the true feelings come out.
It's not for the wrestling podcast. That's for another show.
Oh, that's for another show that you have.
That's
the
a DWP.com backstage exclusive video.
The Soul Society.
That's for my Tumblr page.
Society. The
Streetkilln
Soul
HP
Squad
is such a
Society.
dumbass.
The Triple S. The triple S. Yeah, you calling it over there? Soul Side.
Yo, I
Soul
will
Squad?
say this right now. Yeah, I know that. Yeah, I know that Becky Lynch did she did get the win.
Yeah.
I would have loved to see Paige Royce just win a match against Becky Lynch.
We know
Why?
you would, Ben,
wanna
but it's
see
good that
that.
Becky Lynch won, and I'm glad that Becky Lynch won. She deserves to keep winning, so forget the Iconics. They need to be jobbers for a while. Just like everybody's got to earn, everybody's got to earn their
Iconic.
stripes.
Well,
It's
if we are
iconic.
actually going to talk about a little bit jobbers, we could just talk about Eric Rowan. He's a jobber.
What?
Saying. Sorry, man.
Eric Rowan
Rowan
is a tag team
champion
champion.
right now.
I know, but
Your face is a jobber.
Yeah, well, let's just say that Eric Rowan cannot win the match against Luke Harper. There you go.
Throwing that shade in that wrestling podcast,
Yep,
folks.
throw a shades. Just saying
It's
now.
all going down
I'm just like,
Shades.
I love how Ben
You get a
pluralizes
shade.
it.
He gets a shade.
I am just
We all
throwing
get a
down.
shade.
Yeah, I am just like just laying down the
Can I
facts
ask one?
about
Can I ask
about-
Ben one
yeah,
question?
Okay,
When-
if it's about the Iconics,
It's not about the
I quit.
Iconics.
Thank you.
Who's the last?
If it's
Who's
about the
who's the last Australian WWE champion that you believed?
Oh,
Ooh.
crap.
Ooh, that's
Huh?
Australian?
Huh?
I'm fucking looking this up.
Huh?
You gonna look? You gotta look it up. That means there is none.
He's got to
You got
Google it.
to
I
look
hear,
it up.
I
I
hear,
hear cricket.
I hear it.
Hang on.
A little tappy tappy on the computer.
Who was it? Oh, you
Mel
son of
Gibson.
a bitch.
What's
Heath
what
Ledger.
is it?
There's no Australian champion.
Okay, exactly.
Okay, who
Thank
was
you.
Australian?
Moving on.
Not
We
the
can
only
move on now.
Last
champion.
Australian champion.
I guess none of your girls or none
Ben
of your
doesn't
boys
know.
either have beat anyone.
Why is it talking about the Australian Open's champion? Oh no.
One random thing.
Why?
One random thing. Before we move on, in 1986, a wrestler debuted by the name of Outback Jack from Australia in the
Oh.
WWE.
Outback
Outback
Jack.
Jack.
Mhm.
Damn.
Yep, and I
think he
and
put
I was
shrimp
not
on the
allowed to
body?
see him.
Oh, man.
Do you
Yes,
think
he
he
did
put
put a
shrimp
shrimp
on
on
the
the
body?
body.
He did.
Yes,
he
put
didn't
a
put
shrimp
any
on the
title
body.
belts on his waist.
He did.
Actually,
No.
Outback Jack was allergic to shrimp. Most people don't know that.
Oh yeah, true. I remember
No shrimp
that.
on the Barbie for Outback Jack.
It was a dingo
Right,
instead.
guys. If
Dingoes
if
and
you pay
wallabies.
attention and listen closely to Dat Wrasslin podcast, you're definitely gonna hear a few things that you will never ever hear any other place in your life.
Definitely.
Where else were you have heard about Outback Back? Outback Jack. What did I just say? Did I say
Billy?
Outback Back?
Yo,
Yeah.
yo, I literally actually just
Same
like
difference. No one will remember.
Yeah, I just like looked up some like some Australian wrestlers overseas. Yeah, perhaps some of the biggest names when one mentions Australia are the Fabulous Kangaroos.
I can't.
So funny.
Up next, we got the
No,
Fabulous.
No,
Fabulous
it's
Kangaroos
still
versus the
freaking names of the
Koalas.
yeah, the Fabulous Kangaroos. They are the only Australian wrestlers to make it big in the United States. Held the
Yeah.
Florida and Texas versions of the NWA World Tag Team Championships. Yep, that's all my things going down in history. Goodbye. Oh, great. When is an Australian person ever going to win a championship? Great.
And I don't even want to talk. Alright, guys, we're moving on, but I don't want to talk about this because this made me very angry. Team Hell No versus the Usos.
Okay.
If the
This
Usos
pinches a
win,
nerve.
they are added to the
pinches a
Extreme
nerve.
Rules match between the Team Hell No and Bludgeon Brothers for the Tag Team Championship. All I have to say about this, I'm just going to say how I feel about this real quick, and then you guys can discuss it, and I'm done. I'm not going to chime in. I'm not going to talk crap about Team Hell No. I'm not going to cry and complain. I'm going to say how I feel, and I'm done. I just don't understand why it would have been a bad thing for the Usos to pick up a win. It would have had to been by a distraction or something, because if you allow the Usos just to beat Team Hell No in their first match back together, then obviously you don't want to throw shade on them like that. But fine, you could have found some kind of creative way for the Usos to get the win, be added to the match. I would be more excited to see a 6-man tag team match at Extreme Rules than just Team Hell
I
No
will
versus
do
Bludgeon
this.
They
Brothers.
could have been
but-
more creative, but the thing
And
is,
that's all I got to say.
they kind of making the Usos. They're kind of making the Usos irrelevant at this point. I think they're done giving Usos a title run for now, until they, decide to give them another title run. But at this point, I think they're just done. Like I said, I think they're just done with the Usos, and I don't think they're ever gonna give them a title run until whenever. I don't know when, but I do see Team Hell No having a title run, of course, because this match and the whole return of them, and the whole thing about the title thing, the title talk they were talking about, like the tag team champions and whatnot, and they brought it up in the show as well. They said, they quote I quote they said one of the accomplished or best tag team uh title holders or some shit like that. I don't know. They said something that kind of gave them a big name, what to speak. Like, I don't see them being that much of a big deal. I never really saw Team Hell No as such of a big deal. I mean, I thought they were a pretty decent tag team, and I found it interesting and funny, but I wouldn't give them like a title, like being one of the best tag teams out there or something, or one of the most successful tag teams out there. I mean, there's many other tag teams in WWE and has been in the WWE that was really good. I wouldn't really put them on that of much of a pedestal. Now, to say, are they better than the Usos? Well, looking at their characters individually, Kane and Daniel Bryan, yeah, they're really good wrestlers, and they've done, you know, really good
Daniel
things.
Bryan, yes. Kane, at this point in his career, no.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, in the past, Kane's done really good, and
I don't think
Kane's
you can book
basically
Kane as the
irrelevant.
monster anymore because he physically can't do that. It's like trying to book the Undertaker now. It's like the matches are just kind of disappointing because he's not
It's
physically
the
capable of
it's
doing
been
what.
like that for a while though for Kane,
Yeah.
and that's one of another reasons why they did start this back then and made this tag team match with Team Hell No, is because Kane's been kind of, I'm not gonna like degrade him so much, but he's been irrelevant in the WWE for quite some while, even longer probably than Big Show, I'd say. And him and Big Show, it's kind of sad because they're still in the company and they still like wrestling. I'm assuming they still like wrestling and they still like the WWE. They must have like a big part in WWE to be still there, because if I wasn't getting as much as attention as I was back then, I don't think I would still be around unless I really like WWE. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
It's
they're
like,
not irrelevant. They're putting people over.
yeah,
They're doing a job.
yeah.
They're basically
I'm like I
jobbing,
said, I
you
don't
know.
want to degrade them or anything, and that's where I understand from Soul's point of how he said, Kane was a big deal back then, and that was back then, but Kane hasn't been a big deal since a while. I mean, when was Kane's last title run as a solo athlete, I should say, as a solo wrestler, and not a tag team wrestler? I mean, I understand why they started the whole Team Hell No, to kind of put him out there and give him, something that he kind of deserves. I mean, he hasn't had a solo title in forever. I mean, throw him in a tag team and give him a tag team title. That's another thing. It's accomplishment. I mean, it is what it is. They can't just throw him up there for the Universal title, like as I thought back when he was fighting Brock and Braun. I thought maybe Kane is actually gonna get his moment. He's gonna get his title one, but it wasn't. It wasn't gonna happen. So
Yeah.
I understand it.
Mhm.
I
I
understand it.
agree with that, and it's a good
So
thing for Kane that he's staying relevant and
yeah,
getting in the not the main, but getting in the spotlight like he is.
I mean,
So
yeah, and we
good thing
have
for his career.
Daniel Bryan returning. And we have Daniel Bryan returning. What they're gonna do with Daniel Bryan? They can't just throw him up on the pedestal and give him a United States title shot or you know, a title shot for
Yeah.
the not the Universal title but the world title. They gotta do something with him. They can't just bring him back and put him in matches just to keep him relevant until his time comes. I mean, it's been so overhyped and everybody been wanting him to come back. So I understand why they're bringing Team Hell No back. But I don't really want to touch on the gripe that I have with Team Hell No. But like I said in the beginning, how you know it's not really working out as the name because it's still Yes Movement is still going on, and it's either they change the name or they just bring back the no gimmick.
Oh, here we go again with
But
the name thing. You're so stuck over one word.
Just one.
I said I don't. I
movement.
really don't want to bring it back
Oh,
up, but I just want to state it one more time, and then
I don't
we'll
want
just
to,
move
but
on.
I
I'll
don't.
deal with it. I know. I don't want to make a big deal of it. That's the thing. I'll deal with
While
it.
I
It
make a
is what
big
it
deal of
is.
it.
No, I'm done. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. It is what it is. I'm not gonna make a big deal of it. That's it.
What's it?
It's
But
like
yeah,
me saying,
I know Sheep don't really have anything really to say about this whole,
"Oh, you know
you
that
know,
for
Team
sure."
Hell No, other than what he already said, other than already what he said, because he, just like Soul, he hasn't really saw when they formed. So I don't know if Sheep has anything else to put in.
They look good at that. The chemistry looked good. The match
Yeah,
looked
you already
good.
said that. You already said
Um,
that though.
I never said that the match looked good and that the chemistry looked
No,
good.
you
These
said the
are
chemistry.
no,
yeah.
not between Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre earlier. I said their chemistry was good, but I haven't said that. I thought Team Hell No's chemistry was good.
You said
I
it
thought
looked
they
good.
right then, yeah, just now. Anyway,
Never mind, just go.
yeah. So yeah, I thought the match was good. I don't have a problem with the Usos losing there. I understand it. It probably would have been okay to be to have them added at Extreme Rules, especially if they made it like an Extreme Rules match or something like that, something to spice things up a little bit, not have it be such a dull card. It's gonna probably, like Chase in here has been saying, it's probably gonna be like a pretty boring Extreme Rules, and there's not gonna be anything really extreme about it.
Yeah, I'm
True.
really not all that
But
Like,
disappointed that I didn't get the day off of work for this. Like, I'll just throw it on when I get home in the background and whatever. I'm really not.
definitely.
I feel like I'm more so
so,
watching this
so
for the
you
sake of
guys
the
think
podcast.
Extreme Rules is gonna be kind of shitty?
I
I
do.
mean, after
I
Money in the
could sing
Bank,
a
you
bit
think Extreme
shitty,
Rules is gonna be
Yeah, I
shitty?
do. I think
or it could
SummerSlam's
be
gonna
actually
be
just a channel
great,
I
but I
suppose
think
a
this is
big
gonna be
plan.
bad.
When is
Yeah.
Extreme Rules actually really extreme?
And that's the
That's another
problem. It's the
thing.
same problem with
Um.
TLC not having any tables in it. It's just you
I
need to
know.
stay
Yeah.
true to the name of the pay per view to give the fans a
Yeah,
reason to
that's
be
true.
excited for that pay per view. Oh, this is the one where they do extreme stuff. You know, we're supposed to be
They
Uh,
didn't set anybody's nuts on
we're
fire
so
during Great Balls of Fire.
exactly disappointed.
Yeah. Where was the fire?
Disappointing.
No
God
fire
damn
there.
it. Where was the fire? Where was the Inferno match? Where was the
Yeah. Where?
balls? Come on.
Yeah. Yeah. I was about to say where's the great balls at?
See, all they would have had to do is just for a second have somebody's crotch catch on fire, and then they freak out and
Oh.
put it out real quick. It would have been perfect.
You know what though? I
Hmm.
kind of have to disagree about adding the Usos into that match because it would be pointless still. Like, if the outcome is already set for Kane or for the Bludgeon Brothers to win, Kane well, Team Hell No or the Bludgeon Brothers to win, there's no point of adding the Usos in if they're not the outcome to win. I mean, it's just gonna make
Okay.
the match more longer, and
Who
I
said it
get
is? Maybe there's a
kinda
surprise twist. Maybe there's That's when
No,
Kane.
I'm
Maybe
just
they
saying from
lose.
what it looks like, from what it's already set, to what it is, to what it looks like.
But we
to
don't. You
already
don't know
being
what's
set.
already set. It's what's set in
You
your
think-
mind. What's set in your mind
you
might
think
be
Team
different
Hell
from what's
knows-
set in my mind. I might.
So from
We can go through this all name. Is the Earth really
Well,
round or
to
is
help-
it flat? Do you
to
really
help me
know? Or are you just
understand
looking at the pictures
Street-
of the Earth?
That's
you're saying you're set in stone that Team Hell No is gonna win the tag team titles at Extreme Rules.
Honestly, I don't know who's gonna win. I assume
could
that
be.
Team Hell No is gonna
So
win.
what you're
from
saying,
what, it
what
looks
you've
like.
been saying right now is off that assumption.
Hmm?
What you were just
Can I
saying is
actually
based
put,
off
like,
the
my
assumption
point?
that Team Hell No is gonna win the titles. You're saying,
Yeah, or
Can
the
I-
other, or Bludgeon Brothers.
well, I mean, somebody's got to be in the
Well,
match.
I
What
actually
does that?
will-
It doesn't mean there's no point if the Usos were at it. I mean,
Oh my God, I
two
just
teams would have to
realized.
lose.
Yeah, it would be no point unless they.
Well, you
have
can't
the
say that
Usos
there's no
in.
point in someone being in a match if they're just gonna lose. Somebody's gonna. You can't wrestle yourself. I mean, I get what you're saying,
I
but
know,
at the same
But
time,
it's already.
that's like
set
saying a
for
triple
this
threat
match
match
to
is
happen.
pointless.
From what it looks, from what it's been looking like, it's already set for the Team Hell No
Okay,
and Bludgeon
yeah,
Brothers.
no, I
since
understand
they
based off
returned.
your
Is what I'm saying.
prediction. I guess.
Not that the key factor of somebody's got to win. Is
I
from
got
what
you, I
it
got
looked
you.
like since they
I got you.
returned.
I understand.
Now, the more you know.
Ooh.
I guess I'm just not.
Yep.
I'm not. The whole point for me is it would give the Usos a match at the pay-per-view. It would have them involved because they are my favorite tag team in WWE right now. And also, I guess I'm just not very excited for Team Hell No versus Bludgeon Brothers. It's gross to me. I don't like either
I'm
tag
not
team.
hating
So
on Usos
it's
because I
not-
love the Usos too.
the matches are irrelevant to me. Like, I could care less to even watch it, to be honest. But that's me. That's my personal feelings towards it. I mean, I understand.
You're irrelevant. Your face is irrelevant.
I'm just saying.
I don't care. All right. So moving on to NXT, I guess. That we're
Yep,
doing.
NXT.
Is this where I take my break?
Which I actually did watch
Oh,
NXT.
Ben
Thinking
watched
about kind of know
NXT.
actually.
Very good.
I did, but I actually will say,
Yeah.
there was one match, but like, I'll probably talk about like during this thing.
Okay.
So, opening up the show, we had Dakota Kai taking on Santana Garrett, which aka Santana Garrett came from the Mae Young Classic. Those two had a match. Dakota actually, it was a really good match. Like I completely was like watching this while I was talking to someone else in a pie shop. Don't worry, but yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Oh, who was he talking to?
Oh,
man?
good.
Hold
Yeah, I
on,
was talking
hold
to
good
on.
job.
I was talking to Daniel.
Good job starting us
I
off
was
with that,
talking to,
Soul.
like,
Appreciate it.
Daniel. I was talking about I was talking to Daniel Martinez when I was watching this match, but yeah, it was okay. But like, I kind of was gonna go. I was going for like Santana just to win the match, get a victory over Dakota Kai, but in the end, I was wrong. Dakota Kai gets the win with her finisher, which I don't even know what her finisher is even called. So
Maybe
yeah, I'll
she
take.
knows.
I'll
her
What's the
quickly
question?
introduce now what that is. It was the Kai de Grace. The Kai de Grace. It's a flipping backstabber. That's what the move is called.
Kaya de
It's
Grace.
not Kai de Grace. It's Kai de Gra.
Kai de
Yeah.
Grace.
It's Kai de Gra
It's
because
not-
it's a play on word. It's a pun off of coup de grace. It's Kai de Gra.
Yeah.
Is that literally the name of her move? I thought they were just trolling.
Yeah, it is.
Oh,
It is.
I thought
No, it
the
isn't.
Well, it's probably
I
not.
thought the commentator was just
Not
being
about.
punny.
I think so too. I think Ben's taking. It
I
way
don't
too
think that's
literally.
literally what it's called. I think the announcer was just
Nigel
making a joke.
McGuinness. Who in the heck names their last name McGuinness? I don't even know. Nigel.
Their
Who are we
their
talking about?
That's actually a
family.
very common.
Don't worry. Don't worry. I
Wait,
literally.
Who are we talking about? Who's this girl we're talking about?
Dakota Kai.
Yeah,
Huh.
Dakota Kai. She had a
Get
one-on-one
it?
match against
The Kai de
former Mae
Gra.
Young.
Dakota
Yeah,
Kai.
yeah.
Yeah.
Santana.
It was a squash match.
Well, actually, this match was due because Lacey Evans actually taunted Kai over recent losses, and it's like, you know what? Yeah, I want to be like a little bit victorious tonight, and she, I don't know, it's just
I like how you got
kind
in
of
character
wanna
there.
step
You're
out.
like, it's like, you know what?
Yeah, yeah, you know what? Yeah. Yeah, yeah. I want to score a victory tonight, and I'll do that like, yeah, but. Yeah, I could see Dakota Kai going for against Shayna Baszler.
Well, she is, and that was
If that is
the
happening.
entire point of this match was basically a squash match for Dakota Kai because she is involved in a rivalry with Shayna Baszler. This was a predictable win for Dakota. She is gonna be the next one most likely to face Shayna Baszler for the women's title out of the NXT roster. I think she is the next up. She's been involved in
She doesn't have a name for that.
She's been involved in kind of a.
For that move.
She does.
She's been involved in kind of like a bully
She has a move.
story type thing with Shayna Baszler. And
her finisher is talk to you later, TTYL. But it's not that diving double foot stomp. That's just another finisher she has.
No,
it was like a new thing she did.
I just looked it up, Ben. It's not named anything. It's just the regular name.
It's just like a new move that she pulled off, and it led the announcer to, with quick wit, threw out a little pun.
Maybe she'll use that name.
Maybe so.
Maybe so. Like to win championships. Yeah.
Ben really loves this person.
Maybe.
All right. Sheep, anything?
Grant, I thought Australians hate. I thought Australians hated New Zealanders.
Don't worry. Yeah, we respect our New Zealanders. I'm just saying. Yeah, we respect our New Zealanders. Thank you.
She's from New Zealand.
Yeah, well.
The same.
He said that.
Your parents approve of that?
Yes.
He said they respect New Zealanders.
Okay. Yeah, we respect them. We respect them.
No, I think there's something. I think there's a thing, you know, like New Zealand and Australia doesn't get along, right?
They actually do get along. They do.
Are you sure, Ben? When was the last time you see a New Zealander handshake what is it called? Australian?
I was just about to just say Travis Banks.
Well, none of this is relevant because Australians don't even exist.
He is a Kiwi.
Oh yeah. I remember that whole document. Well, not document. The whole article about Australia not even existing to some people.
Yeah. Ben's in New Zealand anyway.
All right, so
I'm not. I'm fucking Australian.
Let's finish NXT.
Whoa, Ben, what do you have a problem with New Zealand?
Let's finish NXT. Okay, calm down. No more talking about each other's countries.
Wait a minute.
Come on.
Soul, wait a minute.
This is not a geography podcast.
Soul, hang on. That article, you were talking about the Australians don't exist. That is full bullshit.
Oh, you think? You really? You think so?
Yeah, we do.
I don't believe
they do exist.
You know why they call it bullshit, Ben? Because kangaroos don't exist, because neither does Australia.
They freaking exist. I've literally seen one. Yes.
You've seen one what? Australia?
Yeah, Ben.
My brother nigga got for the kick by one.
Where'd you see it in quote unquote Australia? Yeah. Come on, man. Tell somebody who's gonna believe that shit.
Oh my god, my controller just turned itself
Ben, are you gonna tell me you've been to the moon? Is that what you're gonna say? Come on. Let's go, Ben.
You guys are literally just mocking Australia.
Like, you really expect me to believe there's a country where the water goes backwards in the toilet? Come on.
Oh my.
That's clearly made up.
That's clearly a fake place. Anyway, the next thing on NXT was the Shayna Baszler promo. You want to handle it for yourself?
And the next thing after that was a handicap match between Otis Dozovich
No,
versus the Mighty.
No, you didn't like
what?
No, you didn't like Shayna
Baszler's promo. We're going to be talking
promo?
about this. Yes, we're going to talk about the Shayna Baszler
quality
promo.
TV.
Just say it.
Well, look, it was better because they kind of didn't let her talk very much.
If she would have said, if she would have said the answer remains the same one more time, I would have unsubscribed for the WWE Network.
Yeah, well, that's what you.
Shayna Baszler.
Shayna Baszler. Oh my god.
Okay, now probably. If I were to watch it with that in my head, I would probably feel the same. I didn't notice it.
I noticed.
Sorry. Okay. So after that,
Okay.
next match, you can go ahead.
Thank you.
I don't care.
Yeah, that sums up my opinion of the Shayna Baszler promo. I don't care.
I don't care.
Coming up next, we had Heavy Machinery in the back in the gym getting their workout on as always. You guys stay in the gym. Had some grills out on the steak, grilling, sizzling, and good old Otis went out to check the grill, and someone attacked Tucker at the weight bench.
Yep, which AKA it was the Mighty TM61.
Well, it's foreshadowed to be the Mighty. I don't think it was ever blatantly
no,
said.
it actually was.
Spoiler alert, the Mighty.
It was the Mighty. It was the Mighty. And guess what? They're both Australian. Thank you. I had to finally get that off my chest.
Oh, we already knew that, but thank you. Sheep, did they actually disclose that it was the Mighty? I mean,
Not until I don't think they ever actually did.
I think it was supposed to be. That's why I say foreshadow. It was like a thing you're supposed to just get. And they didn't actually come out and say it. It was just supposed to be obvious.
Yeah,
but you never know. It could have always been somebody else. They might trick us later. You know, sick.
I thought he was going to win. I thought Otis was going to win,
too.
man. I really did.
I did too, but I think
I
think when they wrestle them together, they'll win.
Yeah. Yeah, I was actually because I was just like looking at on the WWE.com, and I actually just noticed something. One of the Heavy Machinery's, I think it's like Otis. Sorry if I actually got his name wrong, but but he actually did a Vader bomb, like that almost nearly squashed Shane for him, but Miller pulled him out of the way, so then of course that way. It's like but a Vader bomb.
Mm-hmm.
Is that kind of actually like them like just telling like just remembering Vader? I don't know.
They do it almost every time somebody dies, man.
Yeah, but like
when Bruno Sammartino died. When Bruno Sammartino died. Listen, when Bruno Sammartino died, Braun Strowman did a bear hug.
Mm-hmm.
You know, whenever one of these legends die, they throw a tribute out there. Somebody, a wrestler always wants to acknowledge the past. They do it every single time one of these guys dies, man. It's not uncommon. It is a great thing to see. I'm glad that they kind of saved it for NXT instead of, one of the big names on the big show. I think it resonates more with the audience to have somebody like Otis, who is a little bit reminiscent of Vader, but man, what a personality this guy has. Like, I really want to see this guy every week on TV. When he's not on NXT, I'm like kind of a little bit sad.
Same.
Even if they lose, it's just to watch him and to hear him. I mean, he seems like he would be so fun to be around, like in real life.
Definitely.
So I really, really love Otis Dozovich, and I think Tucker's kind of boring. I think if they split up, I wouldn't be upset.
What would you say?
Watching Otis get a singles push.
Tucker's your Kevin Nash, and Otis is Razor Ramon.
Oh my God!
No, Tucker's probably got a chance, but he's got to have something. Right now, the character that he is with, he doesn't match Otis. He's not. If he was as funny or I don't know. Maybe he's got to grow on me a little bit more. I'll give him a chance.
I can see that.
I'll give Tucker a chance. Hashtag give Tucker a chance.
All right.
Give Tucker a chance.
Moving on, we had a pretty interesting match between Chris Dijak and the Velveteen Dream. This was turned out to be a pretty good match.
One, I don't even know who the hell that guy is.
Chris Dijak, he came from Ring of Honor. He was signed from Ring of Honor.
I don't care. The same. You're just throwing some shades at him, but I don't care.
He had a lot of swagger too.
The posture and height and build of a good wrestler, and he's got a personality to him. I think he's one of the better, undercard guys on NXT. Definitely.
I would like to see him in a feud with EC3.
Yeah,
They seem like they would.
Or
Or even
a
on a team,
yeah.
in EC3, they seem similar. Like even though he's a lot taller, he's like 6'7". He's almost 7 foot. But I mean, he's jacked too. So, and it was a good match. You know that it was really to put a spotlight on both of them because anybody that they put in the ring with Velveteen Dream, they're trying to build up.
Yeah, definitely.
It's almost like you can't go wrong with he's like a Dolph Ziggler or one of those guys you can put in and he'll put the spotlight on anybody.
Yeah.
So I mean, it was good and they worked well together. It was a great match. I mean, it wasn't the best I've seen from Velveteen, but he was facing somebody he'd never faced before that doesn't really have anything that he could use that the crowd knows about. Like when Velveteen comes out and talks about Ricochet, he's got stuff that the crowd knows, and he can build off that. But the crowd didn't know this D-Jack guy. Or D-Vac? Yeah, D-Vac. D-Jack. Yeah. So they didn't really know him, and he could only go off of so much. But he did a good job, I think, and I was impressed with that match.
Me too. I thought it was good. Interesting to see more from this Chris Dijak guy in the future.
Yeah, I definitely think he's going to be a main player in like the next probably 6 months. Give him 6 months, he'll be going for at least a title or something.
He's maybe like a replacement for what was gonna be Tino Sabatelli. Because Tino was supposed to get a huge push like around this time.
And then watch him get Tito's character.
Maybe not his character, but
his out and ready to go.
Maybe not his character, but
no, they'll do that crap. They will. They'll straight up give something.
Oh, yeah,
well, we had this gimmick for here.
I'm talking more just like his.
EC3 came down to the ring and like he was like preparing for his match against God.
Oh, you were just gonna move on?
Velveteen Dream ran away from EC3.
That's how Ben does it.
Gargano takes on EC3. Oh.
Are you done?
Yes, we are done. I'm trying to if I can talk about this Gargano and EC3 match, and you guys are just done.
I'm confused.
Don't worry.
I don't know what's going on here.
How do we do this podcast again? Are we supposed to be talking now, Ben?
Is it our turn?
Okay. I was impressed by this match, and I was actually impressed by Johnny Gargano. The reason why I've talked trash about Johnny Gargano in the past is I've said this many times. I'm not big on babyface characters. I think they're all very cringy and boring. I don't like the nice guy attitude. So that's what I had against Johnny. But he always has been good in the ring, and I like this dark side coming out of Johnny. And it made for a good match with EC3. And even though...
But you know what's going to happen, right?
What?
Yeah,
this is going to turn into some really, really bad soap opera bullshit.
Like, with who? How?
With him and his wife.
Well, yeah, of course.
I'm predicting it.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't even know who you are anymore, Johnny. Fuck off, bitch.
Oh, you hit me.
Well, yeah. That's definitely happening. That's already foreshadowed.
Yeah.
But how long is this feud gonna happen though? How long is this feud gonna happen? It's been going on.
I think it's over. It's over. It's over.
Are you sure?
Johnny and Ciampa.
Are you sure though? Are you sure though? Because that's what they said 2 times.
Well, Gargano did say last week that it's far from over. He said that himself.
That's it.
But they're obviously, maybe the creative team decided let's just go ahead and move forward because you got Aleister Black.
They said it a few times already that this would be it.
What I think is
that match for him. That match.
Here's what's gonna happen. I can tell you this is exactly how it's gonna. I can tell you exactly.
I'll tell you exactly how it's gonna happen.
The whole contract match.
No,
thing.
I'm gonna tell
here's
you.
my version.
I don't care.
We'll see. I don't care.
I don't care.
Me and Sheep never have an argument. So I had to throw it in there. Go ahead.
You got Johnny Gargano. He's going on the little dark side in this, and then he's going to argue with Candice LeRae, and they're going to be fighting, and that's going to be the main focus. And then she's going to start getting suspicious. It's like, what's up with him, man? I don't get it. I don't know what's happening here. And so she starts following him around. She hires Bashing Files to be private
Oh
detectives.
God.
You know what I'm talking about?
Oh no!
Come in and see what's
I thought
going
you were being
on.
sweet.
And then all of a sudden, you know, they get some footage and they see Johnny Gargano coming out the hotel, and then
Don't
out
say it.
comes
Oh
Tommaso
my
Ciampa.
God! I
I
knew
knew
you were
it.
gonna
I
go
knew
Tommaso
there.
it was gonna happen.
Ciampa.
I
I thought you
knew it.
forgot
How'd
about
he
this.
You know
come?
why I knew it? Because of the whole handsy thing. The whole handsy thing he brought up before. Remember when he brought up that whole handsy thing?
And then, you know, the
Remember?
whole big thing, and
Oh,
then
God.
Candice LeRae beats up Tommaso Ciampa and becomes the intergender champion of NXT.
No.
Okay,
Oh.
one thing like I will say right now, the intergender should not belong on like again.
It doesn't belong
NXT.
anywhere, Ben. We were trolling
No,
Soul.
no, yeah, I know that, but like, yeah, I'm just like saying because like, you
Alright,
guys
I
a
want to hear
joke.
Soul's version. So
Okay.
what's your?
What's your
I know
version?
Soul
I
had
was
a real
being
version. He had a
serious.
real
That
one.
was the real version.
Yeah.
That's what's gonna happen. Fuck you guys. You're gonna all like ask me for. You're gonna ask for lottery
Wow.
numbers after this is all over. This is what's gonna happen.
Yeah, I never will be
Okay.
Bro, if that
but
sheep, honestly, if that happened, I don't know. Like, we'd have to do something special for you or something. Like, oh, we'll have to buy you tickets to
Yeah.
WrestleMania or something.
That's right.
yeah, but you know, like, but you know, like the freaking WWE won't freaking let that happen. You watch.
Oh yeah, you watch.
They pretty much.
You-
Did you not
you
see? Did
watch.
you not see? Did you not see the Cruiserweight Classic?
Yeah, I did say about a Cruiserweight Classic, but yeah, but well, I fell asleep.
Did
during
you
that
not see the
moment.
tag team? Did you not see the tag team championship?
Yes, I freaking did, sheep. Jesus.
All right, they've already kind of went
Well,
there.
what I was gonna say is, I see
Yeah, I know, but like
this
it's just...
match was a.
Wait, they had tag team championships on Cruiserweight Classic?
Oh my god.
No,
they
but
were
they
champions
competed
like
in both.
NXT.
They both competed in the Cruiserweight Classic, and they had to fight each other. And
Oh.
Gargano won, and it was all handsy. And then they
Yeah.
fought
It's
in
the
the
same
tag
thing.
team tournament, and that's when Tommaso Ciampa turned on him, and then they were all hanging on each other, and it was all just really awkward. And I got this weird,
Well, what's
awkward
with
vibe
you
from it.
Okay.
men
That was
both
your
being handsy, huh?
interpretation.
Huh?
Okay.
Huh?
That
Too
was
much,
Sheep's
too much.
interpretation.
What's
It's
up
too
with
much.
that?
It's too much.
It's something that you don't want to see.
Okay,
huh?
guys, I actually will say this right now. Like, yeah, I know, like, I am interrupting some of you guys right now, but
I know you southern folks down there.
it's
I know
something about
you.
July 25th. It's something about just July 25th.
With Scott
that was
Dawson,
Tommaso
facial hair.
and. Oh,
Yeah. I know
okay,
you
can we please
southern
like get back onto
folks.
the bit? Okay, so yeah,
Go
so yeah, it
hard.
was announced like on
Nailed
July
it.
25th. Yo, guys.
Alright, let Ben finish. Let Ben finish so we can wrap this up. Go ahead.
Okay, so yeah, so as I actually now I just heard July 25th, it will be Tommaso Ciampa versus Alice Black. But I could actually like see like this way. Like, so if Alice Black like loses, do you think that Alice Black could go to the main roster?
Duh.
Yeah, because that's how where I could be seeing it, but I don't know.
That's
it's
how
just
NXT
No,
works.
they're gonna
That's
fire
how
him as soon as
NXT
he
works,
loses.
Ben.
I know, but like, you know,
I'm pretty
that's
sure
like-
after he loses, he goes to Ring of Honor or something like that.
wow.
You don't get
but no,
punished for losing the title
I
on
don't think
NXT. It's a promotional.
Hmm.
Can I state
Which is kind of
Can I
weird.
state what I think's gonna happen? You guys watched NXT
Yeah.
last
Yes.
week. You would have seen the backstage interview with Johnny Gargano where he said that the feud between him and Ciampa is far from over. What I think the match versus EC3 did was to show that the dark side in Johnny Gargano is still there and it's continuing to grow. And I think
Yeah.
that during the Aleister Black Ciampa match that Gargano's gonna interfere, and he's gonna attack Ciampa, however you want to say it. I think he's
Yeah.
gonna interfere and attack him
Oh, yeah.
Ciampa.
and take him out of the match. And Aleister Black's gonna keep the title for a little longer. I don't think Tommaso Ciampa is going to be the one to take the title from Aleister Black because they kind of just randomly threw this together. Like, when was there ever history
Well,
between
look,
the two of
but
them?
here's the thing: if he does take it, then that gives a legitimate reason for them to finally give the belt to Johnny Gargano.
Oh, fine.
Because he tried what 15 times so far in NXT to go for that belt.
You know what's next after that, right?
I might be exaggerating, but it's like 5 times he's freaking went for the belt.
You know what's next after? You know what's next after that, right?
And that's when they get caught in the hotel.
No, this is what's next.
Trapped in the closet. Yeah, there's that copyright violation.
Copyright. 5 seconds. Oh,
we know, but we're not worried about it yet. We're not that big. We have 100 subscribers. Then.
Well, I was about to talk about the I'll leave those freaking the results to the end. Don't worry. About this New Japan.
What's the results, huh?
Yep.
Well,
you want to hear the results?
So shows, you guys got anything else to bring up?
Okay, so
real quick.
So the New Japan Pro Wrestling G1 Special in San Francisco results. We finally got them results, and we actually have some new champions. Wait, no, we've only got one new champion.
New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Yeah, for the G1 Special. So we had the first match, King Haku, God, whoever. Oh my
You're
God,
probably not even saying the names right, so don't even bother. Just say what kind of match it was.
I'm actually okay, dude. I'm actually gonna let you. Okay, dude, you can read them out because I can't.
I'm not reading because I don't know how to pronounce.
We're not gonna recap the entire show.
It's in that.
Yeah, we're not gonna do the whole thing. I'll just see who won the title.
Just say who won what. Just say who won what. Like what?
King Haku,
King Haku,
God, Yujiro Takahashi, and Chase Owens. So it was a big tag team thing. Somebody retained. Young Bucks retained.
Yep.
Of course.
Will Ospreay and Okada defeated Naito and Bushi.
Juice Robinson defeated Jay White to become the new IWGP United States Champion. And Kenny, God damn it, man. Kenny Omega beat Cody Rhodes to retain the IWGP Heavyweight Championship. So, Omega beat Cody Rhodes, which, I mean, I guess that's to be expected. But the only main news that I had, really, there goes Street again. We got the Daniel Cormier, Brock Lesnar altercation at UFC 226. Brock Lesnar apparently pushes Daniel Cormier, and I think we're going to see Brock Lesnar destroy Daniel Cormier, and that's going to be the only time in history that I'm going to be rooting for Daniel Cormier for rooting for Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, are we actually gonna see just okay? I know this could not happen in the wrestling, in the UFC, but I kind of want to see just Brock Lesnar just give Daniel a freaking a German suplex. I want to see that happen. I don't know if you guys would love to see it, but I don't really know.
I don't.
But the only other news, you got the new WWE reportedly going to be sending huge money offers towards the New Bucks and Kenny Omega, New Bucks, the Young Bucks or something like that.
Young Bucks, yeah.
Invite Soul. You'll have to. I suggested Street. You'll have to invite him. It won't be hard to find now. He's not able to join.
But can we actually get I want to get some opinions on this. Kenny Omega and Young Bucks go into WWE?
It doesn't. Right now, it's too early to really speculate, and really, we don't know. What we do know is that if they do come over here, WWE is going to butcher them, and it'll be terrible. So I'm not really worried on what's going to happen if Kenny Omega or the New Bucks join. I just know that it's possible, but most likely, I'm thinking we're going to have to wait even longer. They might join.
Are you talking about that whole big money deal that
WWE
the big
wants
money. To throw at them?
Big money offers.
Yeah, those big money offers.
Oh, I just
Yeah.
realized.
And Daniel Cormier pushing, Brock or getting pushed by Brock Lesnar. That's the only news
Yeah.
that I've really recall having found.
That's recent news. That
Bullet Club
Daniel
breaks up.
Cormier thing.
That's okay. What's a
Yeah,
Bullet
that's,
Club breaks up? That's good.
We had the Bray Wyatt accident, but we already talked about it.
yeah, and I believe everybody knows
Nia
about it
has
too.
backstage heat, apparently for something about Alexa Bliss. For saying something, liking something on Twitter where somebody basically said that Alexa Bliss got her title for like riding dicks.
What?
Like
Literally?
that's how she got. Yeah, well, they didn't
What?
say they like she. Everybody knows that she was riding to get their grind. They didn't say riding dicks on Twitter, but it was basically they inferred that Alexa
Yeah.
got what she got by sleeping around, and Nia Jax supposedly liked the tweet. What I think happened is she didn't even realize it, or didn't realize that it meant what it meant or anything like that. Probably just trying to support a fan and going through real quick. Because, I mean, you don't always 100% proofread that shit. You're scamming through real quick and be like, oh, here's an Alexa Bliss hater. Let me heart this real quick and keep scrolling. They didn't really read it completely. Like, oops. So she got actual backstage heat from that, but I don't think it'll last long. Typically, the WWE just embarrasses the person who gets heat like that one time on screen and then it's over. So I think
Yeah.
that'll be over with that. Nothing else new in the news for me. If anybody else has anything
Well,
besides Ben.
can we talk about the reason why Miz is not gonna be in the next pay-per-view?
Was he
I
filming a
posted a
show
thing.
or something?
No, I posted it. I posted in the Discord about him being in the MLB All Stars League, so celebrity
Oh yeah,
baseball
Oh
game.
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that's the
Celebrity
reason why he's not gonna be in the
SummerSlam or
pay-per-view.
Extreme Rules.
Yeah, he's gonna be doing
Okay.
that, and he could be possibly out for a few other days as well, if depending on how long this league is and when he's supposed to play in the league. So
Oh, that's fine. I mean, he's earned his days off. I understand.
yeah,
It's
of
not
course.
like he's Brock Lesnar in this shit and just gone for
Oh.
weeks at a time.
Yeah.
Mm.
That's true.
We
Yeah, he
also
can take a
have
couple months off. Oh, cool.
yeah, that's true. That's true. I don't mind it either. I mean, they're not really doing anything with him right now, so it doesn't really matter. I mean,
Yeah.
like you said, he
That's
earned
true.
his keep, so it's all
Absence makes
good.
the heart grow fonder.
Yeah, I think like the
We
only
also
show
have
like
a thing about Goldberg. I guess he wants to return to either fight Roman or Undertaker at WrestleMania 35. I mean, I thought his thing was done. I thought his whole return was about, Brock Lesnar being last, because his whole quote was, um, you're not only next, you're last." So I thought he was done from there, but apparently not. He wants to fight at WrestleMania 35. He wants to have a match with Roman Reigns and Undertaker. I'm not sure if he wants, it to be just a match at WrestleMania or he wants a reign, but
I'm
he
good.
wants
I'm good.
specifically a
Let's
match
let
at
Goldberg should
WrestleMania.
should quit while he's ahead. He left on a good note. I think if he comes back
Well,
in any
hold on,
further, it's gonna
hold
just
on.
make it worse.
Well, I'm gonna read a quote here where he says, "All I got to say is it ain't up to me whether it's Reigns or Taker, and I don't know. I'm not gonna say anybody else. Hey, Reigns and Taker are two guys on my list right now. I mean, obviously for two different reasons, but I'd be honored to get in the ring with either one of them. And I still owe Brock Lesnar a one-on-one, but I'm 2-1 on him, so it's all good." So we could see another uh, return from Goldberg. I don't know.
Like I said, I'm good. He's already 50 years old.
That's true. I
I
feel
mean,
that,
he
but
looked good, and I
do
mean,
we
it
really
wasn't
want?
bad.
do
I'm
we really
done.
want? Do we really want like an? Okay, you say this for Brock. I mean, not Brock Lesnar, but Goldberg. But do we really want what's his name returning there?
Goldberg.
Not Goldberg. I'm talking about Goldberg. Talking about
Gilbert?
no Hulk Hogan. He's supposed to come back. What the hell is he gonna fight? Like that's been talked about. Do we really want him to return?
I don't think it'll be actual matches. I don't think he's gonna be running around taking,
You think
huge.
so?
I don't think he's gonna be having whole full-on matches. If anything, he might have one comeback match, and then he'll be
Yeah.
he'll be just a character.
I mean, I guess it's different because Goldberg already had a return match, and Hogan hasn't really had a return match because the whole thing that happened about him being racist and all that shit, and WWE really didn't care for that. And
You know
Sean
what it
Palmer.
is?
Huh?
You know what it is?
No.
That facial hair. It's just blonde. Same haircut. It's the same cut. It's just blonde.
Same coverage, just blonde. Yeah, but
We're on to something.
Gilbert is supposed to return as well, so that's another thing.
Oh
I
no,
heard
I don't
that
want to see
Gilbert
that.
wants to return, so I don't know. Imagine Gilbert and Ellsworth going at it.
Let's
Oh my
happen. Don't
God.
get Ben started. Don't
Yeah,
get Ben
it has
started.
happened.
God
It
damn
has
it.
happened.
I
Yeah,
know,
I
but
know.
in
Yeah, I know.
WWE though, I'm saying in WWE, I know it's happened before in a different promotion, but in WWE. I mean, how many people actually really remember who Gilbert is, anyways? He did his return in WWE for that little thing about, Goldberg.
The Kevin Owens
But
and
did anybody actually remember? Did anybody even know who he was
I'll
and
be
know what it
honest.
was all about?
When that whole thing was going on, I was a WCW fan.
He was.
Yeah, I liked WCW better than WWF at the time.
Yeah,
Because
I agree.
I was a huge Rey Mysterio fan, and
Yeah,
that was
I
the
get you.
NWO was the thing.
I liked
And
both
I
things. I
was
thought it was a
younger.
really interesting thing.
I was a kid, so the WWF stuff was a little bit more adult oriented. This when it was first starting to be the Attitude Era, and it was a little bit more. I was like, man, that's I don't even know if I'm allowed to watch that shit.
Shit, you're
So
saying you was a kid. I was fucking more of a kid
I
when that shit
know,
was going on.
but like the very beginning stages of it, when Goldberg and Gilbert thing happened,
I was
I
watching
was
wrestling since I was 1 years old. Fuck it, a month.
yeah. I mean, I
Jesus.
understand. But like literally, I remember watching the Goldberg matches like I was fifth grade, something like that.
Yeah.
So I have that point of reference, but I don't remember the Gilberg matches except for in footage I've seen previously from when I was younger.
Mm.
I remember seeing like highlights of it or footage of it, during
Yeah.
you know
I I
shit.
I'm gonna say the same. When I was younger, I don't remember most of the shit. The only true vivid memory I have of wrestling back when I was younger was the Attitude Era. Before that, I really don't remember anything because I was really, really young at the time. And shit, nobody fucking remembers that. And the only reason I remember is from looking back at it and looking back at the matches. I mean, I know I say I like, the whole NWO thing, but that did start like, before fucking Attitude Era. So,
Well, it was
I
around the
mean,
same time because
almost
DX kind
around,
of.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
at the end of NWO was like the beginning because that's when the DX invaded, and that
Yeah.
was like kind of the tail end of
Yeah.
that was the end of WCW. But
Yeah.
yeah, I don't have anything else, guys. We're running quite a bit long tonight. We probably need to get out of here.
I just realized. Yeah, I was not looking up something, and I just found the funniest. Like, I think it's like happened to like any WWE commentator. Just saying this right now. Jim Ross takes a nasty fall during IWGP United States title match. Good old JR, Jim Ross.
And that's the funniest thing.
I don't know, yo. No, it's like after that.
Jim Ross is like an 80-year-old man that's like
I
had
know,
like a
but
lot
yeah,
of
but
health
like,
scares. How's that funny, Ben?
no, I'm not talking about. Okay, yeah, I'm not talking about like that. Like I'm talking about the other one. Like Josh Barnett leaps into the ring in
Alright,
anger.
Ben. Alright, that's the end of the show,
Yeah.
guys. That's the end of tonight's show.
Take it
We should have
easy.
ended this like 45 minutes ago.
Yeah, we
It's
went a
more
little long
party.
there.
Alright, guys. Thanks for
Overtime.
tuning in,
Yeah, there was
everybody.
like a
We'll
lot
see
of
you.
I just want to
There
bring
was a lot of
something. I just want to bring something up. Hold up. For everybody that
God.
watches Something Else to Wrestle, we're gonna have a whole CM Punk theme show coming up. Make sure you go watch that.
Ooh,
If you watch that on Something Else to Wrestle on the WWE network.
Are you
watch that
plugging
podcast.
WWE right now?
Plugging
I'm
another
plugging
podcast right now?
another podcast right
another
now
podcast? Get the hell
because of
fired.
CM Punk.
Fired.
CM Punk. Yep.
Plugging another podcast.
CM Punk show. All about it. It's coming up. They're gonna talk about it. Make sure you go watch that. CM Punk is the best. CM Punk is #1. Yep.
You want to say
Alright.
CM Punk actually has like one of the best pipe bombs of all time.
Are we done? Had somebody hit end yet?
I am now. Peace out, everybody.